Good
Okay.
morning, New York City. Good morning, New York City. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
New
Okay.
York City.
New Hell.
Shaking my titties, shaking my titties, shaking my butt, shaking my butt. Good morning, New York City. And that's our
By the
latest intro song by
Yep,
Changes
Beyonce.
every time.
yep.
Everyone knows that famous Beyonce song, "Shaking My Titties, Shaking My Butt." Good morning, New York City. And uh,
Yo.
and today we're gonna do something a little bit different, although it's kind of the same because of what we did recently. But we're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
talking about the recently ended third Cryptidverse RP, the Fox.
Yep.
So, for those who are not familiar, the Cryptidverse RPs are where we create their horror RPs where we use dice in order to determine what happens, much like D&D. And the Fox was about a young doctor who was bringing together students from all over the world, promising young students from all over the world. Well, promising in quotations apparently, but promising young students from all over the world to help him out with his new and revolutionary animal aggression study. And what happens is something that none of us could have predicted, and it got a
Mm-hmm.
little crazy. So as
It
we,
Yeah.
was
yeah. So let's start
pretty
it.
goddamn chaotic.
It got pretty chaotic. So let's start out by, I guess, introducing how we came up with our characters. I guess
Okay.
we can start with you, Swift, of
Swift.
course.
Yeah, Swift, please
All right.
go because
All,
you're going to take the most
all
time
right.
of everyone here.
Okay. I'm actually gonna get my notebook right now because
Oh
Eric's
God.
inspiration because Eric's
Here
inspiration
we
is
go.
actually based on another character. Hang on a
Okay.
moment. I'm
Oh
just gonna get my
God.
notebook. I'm just gonna get my
In
notebook.
the
Hang
Wait.
Oh
on. I'll be
in the
God.
quick.
time
I'll be quick. I'll be
Oh
freaking quick.
God.
Okay.
in the time being,
Mm.
Taka, are you ready to fight?
Ah, wait, what?
Are you ready to fight for
Oh
Swift's
yeah.
character?
Told you
No,
I'll be quick. I'm
Ah.
back.
Taka's actually going to be fighting me about the plot. That's what's going to
Okay.
I'm
happen.
going to fight you so much right now because of the plot. Oh, my sisters
Okay.
have so
Okay.
many things to say about the
All right.
plot.
So
Go
all
ahead.
right. So I based Eric's character when I created Eric. I actually was going back to like my old characters that I created from when I was younger. And one of the characters that I made was a Filipino guy from Bicol named Eric Manatislo. Yeah. So according to his profile, according to what I wrote down, he says Eric Manatisla, another friend of Joey's. He's the complete opposite of Ramon, as he's logical, aloof, and hardly emotional, though he is capable of showing remorse. So you can pretty much see how that dramatically changed when
Yeah.
I decided. So when I decided to create Eric Eberly, the Eric that I made, so I just like, okay, I'll just make Eric like a student, just like this Eric, the Eric M, but change the surname.
And where was he from?
You know, um, Eric Manatislo.
No, the Eric, the one that ended up in the Fox.
Oh, Eric Eberly's from Arizona, the United States.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right. That's right. Okay, here's the other thing that's really funny is that I gave you all the option to make characters from anywhere in the world, and most of
And
the
half of the
cast,
GK.
half of them were either from the UK or from the US, which I thought was so funny. Which is
yep,
it's also even funnier because the players were not necessarily from the UK or the US, but they mostly chose people from the UK or the US, which I thought was really funny. I didn't know if it was like I wondered if I probably wasn't clear, and I made it clear with the doctor that like we would be speaking English in this study. But I probably should have made that clear prior to, because I wonder if that's why people chose mostly English speaking countries to have these
yeah.
kids from. But I don't know.
I mean, like, I could have stuck to Eric being Filipino because of course, like the Philippines is like the country that gives out the most nurses nowadays.
Yeah.
So, but I just decided to make him
Fair enough.
American because I don't want to like stick to regional bias. So
I was gonna make
I'm
a
just
character Australian, and I was like, oh no, I'm doing another Australian character next. I'm just gonna stick to a different country.
Good job. Good job.
I made a whole character for him, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna change this up like
Oh my
2
gosh.
days before the roleplay started.
Soph, do you wanna introduce your tragic character?
Oh yeah, sure.
Everyone breathes sadly.
Yeah. Or one Alpha Kieran Bakshi.
Oh,
I think that's how you. Yeah.
poor Kieran. We'll get to why
Yeah.
it's so sad that
He
Kieran.
does. He deserves so much better.
He does deserve so much
Yeah,
better.
He was robbed.
He honestly, I will give you that. He was robbed. Although I have a couple
Yes.
bones to pick with a couple of decisions you made, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. We will absolutely
I
get
don't
there.
I don't feel.
We
Trust me, I feel like that too. I feel that too.
we had a bit of a of not quite a Delta moment, but close. But close. So there was that, and then oh, Shadow, are you there? Can you introduce your character?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, also another tragic character.
So I had I chose this Sophia Williams. Yeah, I kind of based her off the already existing William from the Seven Sins, but
Oh, I see.
British, has the personality of a child. Perfect.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sophia had also a very tragic story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally liked Sophia. The Doctor did not. We will get there also. And so that's all the cast. It's funny, we only have like a little bit of the cast here, so we may have to do a part 2 if we get more people later to get like their perspective. But so as the podcast, as the RP starts, basically the Doctor has put on this video about talking about why they're here and talking a lot about foxes, which everyone was very confused about. What were your initial thoughts of like the way the RP introed?
Honestly, I was suspicious already before we talk honestly about it. I was already suspicious of that. And the way the doctor just was obsessed with this idea of the fox. Like, it wasn't even like he likes it. No, no, no. It was like he fucking gets obsessed of it. Oh, also, Nick is here, so we should invite him to
Yep.
speak.
Nick, yes, come through. Yes, please.
Okay.
You are free to. Here, I will invite you to speak. How about that? And oh yeah, if Nick is ready to speak, Nick, you should
Hello.
introduce. Yay, Nick! Introduce your character for the fox.
Yeah, bring in.
What are we talking about?
We are we're right at the beginning. We're just introducing our characters and how we came up with them.
Oh. But for what? The fox?
Yeah. Oh, the fox.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. We'll do our Ferguson's podcast another time, but the fox is fresh in our minds. We'll do it here.
Okay. So, Elias or Elias or
Yes, that was a big.
Many-
there was a big
Names.
confusion between everyone.
many names. So am I supposed to talk about how I came up with the name or
Yeah.
something?
How'd you come up with the name? Why did you set him in? Why did you have him be German? And marine biology was also what you chose, which I think is interesting.
So first I had to pick a. So I already had the character, but I didn't make any backstory for him yet. And it was kind of difficult to maneuver around having him be like in a field that studied animals.
Interesting.
Because I know nothing about marine
I figured that everyone who picked a field of study did not know a lot about their field of study, which was fine because no one was really challenged on it, which was great.
I mean, I had to read up. I had to read up on some. Ano to? I had to read up on. I had to read up on some topics about nursing because I was like, I want to freaking stay true to Eric's character, even if I didn't really actually implement it in the thread itself.
I mean, you probably picked
But-
the easiest field of study because nursing is like, I mean, it's just caretaking. I mean, there are obviously some
Yeah.
But
other things you have to do,
but there are theories. I found out while I was researching on the nursing.
Sorry,
I
what?
was
no. Oh.
like, but I found out like while I was researching on the nursing course, I found out that there were actually like subjects such as foundational theories of nursing.
Yes.
So it's far from just caretaking. Like there's literally theories such as Florence Nightingale's theory of environment, which basically says that that the environment where the conditions in which the patient is surrounded in pretty much helps in their rehabilitation. Yeah.
So so everyone gets there, and the doctor has this really drawn out speech about how Fox has inspired him to study animal behavior and animal aggression, and what animals do when they're stressed. And everyone's like, "What? That's crazy. All right, whatever." And so then I actually don't remember what happens next. Did everyone just sort of like go into their dorm room and meet each other?
Yeah. Well, Kira made some jokes about how he thought Sweden was cold.
Oh yes, I love that. I actually loved sort of people coming into the new environments and who or like people coming into Sweden from places that are very much not Sweden, mostly Kieran, and just how yeah.
It's like when I was looking it up, I found that like places in like India, stuff like that, they're like really humid and stuff like that during the summer, like all year round. So he would have like not been used to Sweden at all. He would have not have been prepared at all.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. So everyone sort of meets. We don't have a whole lot of time to like meet up and chit chat, but two people get very, very close, very, very quick. Who are those two people? Swift and
Oh my
Shadow.
god.
Yep.
I wonder.
Jesus
Yeah, I
Christ!
freaking wonder.
Oh my
I
gosh!
freaking wonder who.
You guys,
But in all seriousness,
Sim,
I wrote down that
really normal suddenly. Like, what the hell? How did they hit so close? And let's not talk about Alec actually. Who the hell did he hit so close about someone if you lost someone already? It's like,
I wrote
what the hell were
down.
you thinking?
I wrote down. It's giving the energy of someone who tours a college dorm and falls in love immediately with their TA, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, like to be fair, Eric at the time was like still reeling from having to break off his engagement with Susie. So,
oh, I love
so
that
for him to like,
drama.
but like my only regret was not really detailing on it much further in the thread itself in regards to his past with his former girlfriend / fiance. I mean, in the original profile that I wrote for Eric, which I actually used like the character profile template for the Vines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wrote down that. Hang on a minute. I typed it down. I freaking typed it down in the document. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly check up on it again because I am that kind of person who is. Anyway,
As a non-American
Anyways.
myself, can Fire explain what's a TA?
Oh, it's
teacher's
like
assistant.
teacher's assistant. Yes. So generally, teachers assistants. So there's like a thing in college, like people. So teachers assistants are usually pretty close in age to the college students. So generally, there's like sometimes there's a relationship will form between a student and a teacher's assistant. That's, I mean, low key inappropriate, but also like, it's a thing that happens a lot in college. So.
Okay, so I found this original description. So part of it says, outside of his university / sort of workplace life, Eric was engaged to his girlfriend from his high school years, but the engagement was dissolved because of his workaholic tendencies. So yeah.
Eric. So yes, Sophia and Eric very quickly strike up a something. I mean,
Well, it's like a
Yeah.
friendship / budding crush. That's
I,
what I'm.
I
That's all
thought
I'm
you
gonna
were
say on
were
that.
going to say friendship with benefits, and I was wondering what the hell were you thinking?
oh my God, where are they gonna
Oh
where are
my
they
god.
where are they gonna have those benefits? Chrysalis and Cage are taking up all the space to fuck everywhere else. Which we'll get.
See the dorms, I suppose. I mean,
Which
this seems zone proof, so
so
Let's see. Wait a minute. So let's see. Sophia saw bunnies do it, and then like the very next day she saw got
Sophia had a
in her own room by some.
very sexual experience during the Fox. Not for herself, but just for everyone around her, apparently. So the first,
Yeah.
so the
She just freaking walks in at the worst times.
Yeah.
Honestly.
yeah, poor thing.
It's like
Her end basically says the same. She just walked in at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
yeah. But then like at the first time, like Eric was right beside her, and then she was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my gosh.
And then the second time, she was like hearing it while she was going back to the girls' dorm room. So,
I love it.
oh boy,
I love it. So then they get their first assignment the next day after they chill out in the dorms.
And their only assignments.
And their only assignment because things got a little.
their first and only
The
assignment
assignment.
because everything goes to hell.
Really escalated
so
after
quickly.
that. It really went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
Images that precede unfortunate events.
Nothing, Cassie.
And
Nothing, Cassie. Okay, guys. Anyway, what?
and oh wait, Nathan, at what point did you tune into the Fox? Were you sort of there for the whole ride, or did you?
No, quite towards the end.
Okay, good.
And when John did, poor Eric died.
Oh
The next
yes,
day,
Yeah.
Elias died. Oh, so it's just a sad moment for me the whole time.
we'll get.
And
Okay,
I fell in love with Eric straight away because of the backstory, I guess, and it was just gruesome to me.
that Swift backstory. That's a Swift backstory for you. So so you chimed it. Okay, I'm trying to think. So okay, put a bookmark in that. So we'll chime Nathan in for his thoughts when we get to where he really tuned in. So the first the first assignment and only assignment is that the students discover that there's a animal sanctuary of American essentially forest animals.
North American
North-
forest.
Yeah, North American forest. And everyone is tasked to pick an animal to study. And one fun thing I gave you, our peers, is that you get to choose what you see, which I don't normally do because I like to be specific about what's in there. But I liked the idea of everyone creating their own environment for what they saw. So how did you go about this task, everyone?
Well, I just searched North American animals endemic to North America. I just searched for it on Google, and then the first thing that popped up was like a snowshoe hare. Perfect. I'll pick that one.
The thing that I loved about everyone doing this is that everyone did some research and then DM'd me and was like, "Is it okay if I research a turtle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay if you have a turtle in there. It's okay."
wait, seriously, someone asked you if they could research a turtle?
It was just like
That's
I think it's because because everyone's so used to me like having a more controlled handle on like what's in there and like what will happen later and stuff like that. I think people are like, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I like can I see a rabbit? And I'm like, yeah, a rabbit's fine. Everything's fine. I just thought it was funny. But yes. So yes, so what else did you guys see?
Two rabbits having fun, for a lack of a better word.
Oh god, that
Yep.
that was the first sign I was like, that he did it with purpose or just to distract us. And now I now understand why you did it for the breathing thing. And I was like, oh, it was for that. You son of a bitch.
It was
Yeah.
it was a little bit of foreshadowing. I wanted to so this is oddly enough, this is probably the most sexual RP that we have.
That's surprising because the dating game should be the most.
Well, you made it that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
but
wanted it to be yes.
Suddenly the dating game is like more tame compared to this. So
I don't want to say too much, but the dating game should be probably the most tame one we've had thus far. So we'll see.
I don't believe you won't take the opportunity for it to be super sexual. Like I don't believe so.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So what else did you guys study? Who else? Did someone study a bear or a wolf? Or hang on, I have to look at.
Yeah, no. Alexander, I think, or it was Nick that studied a fish that was like super hard to
Lex.
kill.
A fish.
Lex was the one who studied the wolves, and then Elias was the one who studied like a marine creature.
It was a
Yeah.
I
trout.
studied
And
the
then-
caribou.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a brook trout.
And
They actually look really nice.
they're very pretty. Yes, I actually looked up all of these animals. Well, the ones that I was like, I don't remember this one, and I was like, oh, good choice. But when someone said wolves, I was like, very good, very good.
Every time someone got killed, like in the animals, you were like, and how did you feel when they saw left the bodies?
So okay, so what I was doing, I'll start to let you in on some secrets. So one of the things that I wanted the doctor to do was to separate you guys and put you into camps of weak and strong. So what was happening was that he was asking everybody what their response was to their animals, and I actually did not give you guys any prompts, which is interesting because some of you guys chose to see your animals do violent things, and sometimes I peppered them in there just to see, and everyone's responses was really interesting because everyone kind of fell one way or the other. The only character that sort of avoided both options was Alana.
Yeah. Because she
Yeah.
she used like she examined the monarch butterfly.
Yeah, she was examining the butterfly, and the doctor was like, "Oh, that's boring." It's just like, we don't care about butterflies here.
Hey, a monarch butterfly is not boring.
Listen,
Their life cycles.
I love monarch butterflies. Dr. Helsvik did not care.
My God, he has no taste. He has no goddamn.
Yeah, he has no taste.
Because they're not
He has no
violent.
goddamn taste.
They're not violent creatures. So the animals that, or the responses that the doctor liked, and I wrote them down somewhere in my notes. Liked Elias, liked Alexander. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Liked.
Yeah.
Who else did he like? I think that was it. It was those two.
Didn't he think Kieran's was decent?
Yes.
Except for his really scribbly notes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Found his notes sloppy, but was somewhat pleased with him. I forgot what Chemo said. I don't even remember what Chemo said, but I guess not
I
writing.
don't think Chemo said anything. All she did was like sit on the wall.
Yeah, I don't think she was super.
Yeah.
And then was bored by Alana and actively did not like Sophia's answer. And so I remember I wrote these down on a separate on my master notes sheet. I call it my master note sheet. And basically,
on your Google Doc.
Yes. So basically, what the doctor was trying to do was figure out who was worthy of going on to help him with the study, and how much he could enter, like how much closer he could enter people into the study. And so he quickly realized that Elias and Alex he was essentially looking for who could be a sociopath, let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was trying to see who the sociopaths of the group were. And it was interesting because he was correct about one, but not correct about the other. So,
Yep.
which was so juicy, and I loved it. And so then things escalated from there. What happened directly after? And he was like, "Oh, there's pizza in the cafeteria." After that,
Yeah, pizza.
Yum.
Wasn't like what? Didn't he invite Eric for something? I think. Or was
Yeah.
it like that?
here we go. So he noticed that Eric and Sophia were getting close, and he was a little confused about it because I think I wrote down that unclear on Eric's position. Like I wasn't sure exactly where Eric fell on the weak strong scale, on the Dr. Helsvik weak strong scale.
Dr.
And-
Helsvik weak strong.
Yes, yeah, it's a very specific weak strong scale. And so what he wanted to do, he was like, I want to see Eric. And it's funny because Swift kept DMing me being like, what does Dr. Helsvik want? When do I see Dr. Helsvik?
Yep.
But something distracted us, and I don't remember what it was.
I remember.
What was it?
It was a Cage, and I forgot her name.
Here we go. Now enter Cage and Chrysalis. Okay. So,
Yeah, those two.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So, so Shadow, what happens when Sophia goes to the bathroom?
Uh-huh.
No, what happens is she goes to the bathroom because the doctor sends her to the bathroom because she was looking a bit not well.
Yes.
All of a sudden, she sees someone exit the bathroom, and she's like, "Oh, hello." And then the person's like, "Oh, I shouldn't be talking to you." And then she's like, "Oh, all right." And then the Chrysalis, yeah, it was Chrysalis, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrysalis runs out of the bathroom, and then then Sophia's like, "Oh, interesting." And then
There
she's
was
like,
one
anyway,
thing.
then she goes to get Taka. You can go ahead.
No, sorry. You can continue if you want to. I sorry interrupted. I was just thinking that I remember one phrase that I was talking about with me or what Sophia said. I shouldn't be talking to you. Like we never got an answer to that. Actually, I was like, "What do you mean you shouldn't be talking to us? What?"
Well, Chrysalis, so we come to find out, well, I mean, I guess we're jumping ahead a little bit, but we come to find out that Chrysalis and Cage have been a part of Dr. Helsvik's study a little bit against their will.
Yeah.
It's a little on the sketchy side.
No.
Unethical.
No.
It's very
It's a
on the
lot.
sketchy
It's
side.
a lot. What do you mean? What do you mean a little? It's a lot. They were jokes. They had a lot of fucking jokes on them that they didn't realize that that Sally was being
Just-
fucked by fucking animal. So
We will get, oh
I
my
was-
god, Taka, we'll get there.
Let's just say it
Taka, we'll
outright.
get
It was
there when we
down.
get there.
Let's just say it outright. It was downright unethical.
Oh,
In
well,
all
I mean,
honesty.
Okay, yeah.
unethical
Of
is,
course, it is unethical. Unless like someone passes a law about just bleeding at this point, and so everyone's Sophia's dreams will come true.
it was, yeah, so, we'll get into the details of it, but but basically what Chrysalis was trying to say was that she was trying not to involve the students too much in what was going on with her, because at that point she had been well into what was going on, which we'll get there. And she was in the bathroom for a certain reason, which we'll also get to. So so she was. I think she understood the illegality of what was happening, and also we come to find out that she is an addict, and this is something I did a lot of research on this. Yeah, I did a ton of research on this. Who's never been an addict before? That when you
How many watch lists are you on?
tons, very a lot of watch lists. I'm on. They're watching me right now through my camera, and so there is something that Dr. Helsvik is supplying her with that she was not able to get very freely on the outside world. So it's this weird power play of, you know, if you do what I ask, you'll get what you want, sort of thing. So it's and also we'll get there. Anyway, so Chrysalis, whose name is spelled terribly, and I did that on purpose. I loved
Yes,
it.
you did.
It was, I think it was Swift or someone who actually spelled Chrysalis the way that the word chrysalis is actually spelled, and I was like, "That's funny." But I was trying to do a lot of times. It's in the 70s, especially, people would just like mush. People would spell things weird, so it was like I was basically trying to. Her name probably in real life, she was probably born Christina, and then probably named Chrissy as a nickname, and then changed her name to Chrysalis when she got with Cage, which is also not his real name. And then we meet Cage. How do we meet Cage, Shadow?
Oh god, oh god. I forgot about that for a
Okay,
second.
okay. So Sophia exits the bathroom and goes to get like a slice of pizza, and she grabs it and she looks around for Eric and she doesn't find him because Eric was in the media room. Right. Yeah, yeah. Eric was in the media room, so she goes to her room to just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to her room to sit, and she opens the door. She hears nothing good.
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Oh, that was.
And then she
that was
continuously knocks, and she's just like she asks if they'll continue that for a while and if she can leave or something. Yeah, and then the door is open, and then we see a guy who then proceeds to attempt to murder her in a way, I think.
Well, she grabs her neck. I mean, you could say that, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he could have choked her to death, essentially.
exactly. Yeah, and then the chrysalis comes out of where she was, and it's just like, oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah, and she survives somehow.
Yes, she called for Eric at one point. And then everyone sort of came out and was like, what's going on here? And they had barricaded them. They went to the bathroom to go finish what they were doing. I'm sure they were playing Monopoly. And
It just got very competitive.
yes, Scrabble. It got very competitive, and they just said fuck a lot. Yes, and so the doctor goes, oh, I know what's going on here, and proceeds to open the bathroom door and say, let's go, let's get out of here. And then when asked about who those people were, the doctor very innocently says they are patients from study in years prior. And that's it. Nothing more to see here. That's the end
Nothing
of the
to see here.
and that's the end of the
nothing
fox.
to see
That's how
here.
the story ends.
Okay.
And
Of
everyone goes
course it
home.
ends here. Yeah, we didn't
Yeah,
have any
everyone's happy.
experiments on
Curious
us.
to view
or
We
perspective.
press the
Yeah.
elevator button
Yeah.
and we all get.
Everyone
Yep,
leaves on
that's-
their own will. It's great. It's a lovely story.
Everyone leaves through the elevator.
Lovely in quotations.
So, what really happens after that?
Oh no.
Okay.
Everything just starts going downhill.
Yeah. Okay, wait, wasn't that okay? I know someone went to the media room after that, or wasn't it?
No,
Like,
it was-
okay, I'm trying to
no.
remember who. Or okay, I know someone went to the media room after that, but I don't know if it was Elena or Eric. No, it was Eric. It was
Elena.
Eric. It was Eric because of like.
It
Oh.
wasn't Eric because he was basically cooped up in his room like studying. He's just
Air quotes.
he was
Oh, wait.
he was basically a
Um,
workaholic, like I mentioned earlier. He just
Okay, that's
if he
true.
wants to
Uh,
occupy with him.
Okay, actually, let me see what happened at Fetal because I was sure some. I
Are
know,
you talking about like the tapes and all that?
but
The
that
the
happened
Like,
after. Unless we are
the
talking about
reels.
Elena, but I don't know. Okay, actually, hold on, hold on.
If it's the reels, it's Alina.
it's Elena who checked out the rest of the reels.
So
Eric
this
only
is
checked out like that.
Okay,
Eric
so
yeah.
it
only
was
checked
Elena.
out that
Okay.
one particular video.
What about the dogs? I feel like we forgot about the dogs. Like,
Oh yeah, the dogs. Oh god, I forgot about the puppies.
Oh yes. So I love the sigh you just
Wait,
said.
doesn't it
You
happen? Doesn't it happen
Yeah.
the next day?
you
It
are a
happens the next day,
heartless.
right?
The puppies happen
I think
first. The puppies happen on the first day because he wanted to endear himself to them.
Oh no, no,
Oh,
I
oh,
thought
this
we
is
were
when
talking
that
about
happens.
when
Oh boy.
Elena wakes up and exits her room and oh god.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no, yeah.
Yeah.
So I forgot how the timeline works. It's I think puppies happened a little bit earlier than we're talking about. I think the puppies happened before Cage and yeah, they did. They happened before Cage and Chrysalis.
Yes.
So it's actually one of the first things. Yeah. So Dr. Hellsvik gifts everyone puppies like you
There we
do.
go.
Just sweet puppies and people named their puppies. I had you all name your puppies and get attached to your puppies for like 2 seconds. It was
Or
great.
I
Vinny.
fucking know it. I
You
was
are
like, why is the
you
one
are
kid attached to
malevolent.
this puppy so much? Like you could have done anything else. So I was like, why?
You are a bad
Why?
person, player.
So the puppies are happening and everyone has their puppies. It's great.
Yeah.
And so next, Alana does a little bit of snooping. And she goes into the media room, which is, first of all, I'm surprised that not a lot of people like utilize the media room because the media room is where all the shit happened. Or
Yeah.
actually, it's kind of funny because the media room is actually where literally every evidence could have happened, and had people gone in there earlier and searched earlier, they kind of would have figured out the entire plot of the Fox very early on. But
Think like no went there because like the only two cases that went there is because you literally had to make something happen there. Like the mail room was literally useless because like there was nothing there. Like if you think about it, why would a doctor save things there? It should be there should be two cases for that. And of course, Hesby was cases, so yep. Sorry about that. Yeah, like if you think about it, I feel like no one went there because like there was no hint there was things there and there was nothing happening out there
that's
unless
true.
you count the war, but that's later on. So
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. So Elena goes in there and sees a bunch of movies marked by various animals, and the one that she pulls is the bull. And in it, she finds a bull in grainy footage that's set. I think it was from 1955. I think.
1969, I believe.
yeah, 1969.
Yeah,
Oh
she
69.
used that
Yeah,
one.
Give it a
Yeah,
second.
just that
sex
one because
number.
fire.
no! The bull one was from the 50s. She pulled the 1969 one later when we figure out about Cage and Chrysalis. The first one she pulled was from the 50s, and
Oh,
the bull it's kind of an innocuous, it's kind of innocent essentially, but quite interesting. So what happened was you just hear a voice off screen talking. Wait, I'm gonna find the text. Wait, stay right there. This podcast is sponsored by Blue Chew. Keep your penis hard with Blue Chew. Dang it. Why is it not
What?
working? Shadow. A little shadow just got it. I guess you guys don't know about Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a erectile dysfunction drug. Which I wouldn't know
guess I
anything
don't
about.
think so.
That's why I'm worried.
Notice.
Um,
Now
The doctor
today's
thinks
sponsor
there's,
is
stuff.
Raid Shadow Legends.
wait.
Shadow.
This
Huh.
podcast is sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh my
Yes.
god, no, please.
Yep, that's it.
How many-
That's it.
This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace.
Okay. So
Create your online presence with NordVPN.
So I figured it out. All right.
Dollar Shave Club. Shave time. Shave.
Yes, Dollar Shave Club. So it was called the Bull, and there was a bull, and there was no bull in the sanctuary, which was really interesting. So as Elena loads the real projector, grainy 50s footage comes off of a large bull. Off-camera voices. Man 1, is she gonna be okay in there? Man 2, we shall see. We gave it a sedative, so it should be docile. Slowly, a young woman comes into frame. She says, "What do I do now? I don't think it notices me." Man says, "Just call to it, maybe." The woman says, "Hello, Rupert." "See? Nothing? I think you gave it too much stuff." The man says, "Okay, come out and we'll figure out the dosage." The film reel ends. Do you all
Ano kasi? Wala.
do you all know what she was there to do?
She was going to screw him. She was going
Yeah.
to get screwed.
Yeah.
Like at first I was thinking maybe it would like hunting, but then I realized, oh wait, that's a woman. Of course, it worked for fucking close viewing.
Good job. I don't think
I
everyone
feel-
figured out.
Wait, is this like where they is this you know how like later on the bull creature thing appeared?
Yeah, I think it comes from them. Like,
Yeah, was it like similar to that thing?
Yes.
but
What
wait,
he,
wait, yeah, but I do wonder how the hell did he put the fox head on, or is that for the? Oh, okay, no, no, never mind. I think I know how to he put it on.
So so poor poor Nick. As always for all podcasts in the Fox or in the Cryptidverse, content warning, content warning, content warning. So here's the funny thing, is that Elena did not look at. I mean, I actually had lists of what each footage would show had she picked it, and she went really fast and she only picked 2 videos, and she picked 2 of the least incriminating videos, which is so funny. She picked up the bull. There was a fox one, but she never looked for it. So she have go ahead.
What's the fox one?
So
That must be.
so basically they filmed all of the animals that were in the enclosure, but had she picked the fox one, and there was no fox in the enclosure at that time that the dudes were there, so you would have figured out that the creature was made up of animals that were no longer there. So
Oh,
Yeah.
for that there was no bull either. Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, this is
well, that
amazing.
explains where
Nothing.
the doctor's father went.
Yeah.
Which we'll also get there because I want to.
I mean-
I'm curious if you guys caught that too, but we'll get there too. So then,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I actually caught it as soon as I even saw the text. So I was like, wait,
Wait,
the
what
torso.
text? What text? I'm confused.
Like basically when it described the creature as having a torso of an elderly man, I was like, oh, that's
Oh.
his dad. That's his freaking dad.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's his dad.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
I didn't see the elderly part, so I was thinking, that's just a normal human. If I saw it, I was like, why elderly? And then I realized, but I just saw torso of a normal human, so I was confused. This makes me wonder what the fuck was going on with the numbers too, because every other number that was in the years was fucking of the devil. It's like suspicious, but I suppose that's for later.
I know it was. I will tell you, it was a little bit of a red herring. But
Son of a bitch.
yeah, Taco was really fixated on the devil's number stuff, and I was like, it's too obvious, Taco. Don't take the bait. So then Elena finds a back panel that has more videos, but they're all numbered by year. So Zozo, just being cheeky and having no no plan whatsoever, picked 1969 because 69, 69, 420, 420. And she says, so the footage is much clearer in the 1969 standards. We see 2 teen faces sitting in 2 chairs. They are thin, slouching, and scratching quite a bit. The older man off screen says, "State your names." The girl says, "Chrysalis." Man says, "Cage." He says, "Are those your real names?" Chrysalis says, "Yeah, man," and she laughs. Old man says, "Fine, state your ages." Cage says, "Both 16. Older man asks if this is true, Chrysalis. She says, "Sure, man," and she giggles. Older man says, "Are you currently on the influence of any substances?" Cage says, "Why? You want a hit? What are you currently using?" He says, "Are you a pig?"
Oh fuck, he left. Never mind.
Oh,
What
who
happened?
left?
Shy entered it for like listening, and he left immediately after. I
Oh
was
no.
like, oh, Shy entered it.
Oh, we need Shy in here
Yeah.
because Shy has
Okay,
a lot of
actually,
things to answer for. So DM Shy when you get a chance. He says, "Are you
I'm actually going to him while you talk. Hold on, I
cool?"
should have his names here. Yeah, don't worry.
So Cage says, "Are you a pig?" Which is so funny because pig is what they called policemen back in the day, but I did not even catch that is a pun for what's happening right now. Like,
Oh boy.
are you a pig? Yeah. I didn't realize that till right
You
now.
are such an idiot.
Older man says, "If you're going to participate in the study, I need to know what you're taking." Krista says, "Baby, I think this old fart wants some of what we got. Where are your parents?" He says, "Fuck knows, fuck cares." He says, "Are you on the street? This is where my assistant found you, so I need to know if you belong to anyone." She says, "I don't belong to nobody but him," which makes me cringe because I hate that. And then she points to Cage. He says, "All right, my assistant's going to give you a sedative for sleep, and we'll put you in the bunk quarters separately." The assistant comes on screen. It's clearly a young Dr. Helsvik. Doctor says, "May I have your..."
Young hot.
Yeah, a younger,
Sorry.
also hotter Dr. Helsvik. Yeah. "May I have your arm..." Actually, I think he might be underage at this point, if the math works out.
Oh.
Wait, if he's... What are we on? 70... I think we're in 1976. This was 69. Oh, he wasn't underage. Okay, you can still call him hot. "May I have your..."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. "May I have your arm, please?" She says no. Older man says, "I can see the tracks marks from here," and he asks, "Junkies?" And he says, "Yeah, seems like it. They've recently started using. There aren't many marks." Older man says, "All right, we'll get them to bed and detoxify them tomorrow." What did we think of that video?
You
I
know,
don't know, man. Like, in one hand, they were fucking chunky,
at,
so. Like,
at the time, I was like, oh, test subjects. So,
yeah, same. Like, honestly,
or
like, they had a lot of character, and the only two, like, things that really, like, identified them was, Kate almost like killing Sophia before, and also like the Levitus scene, but that's really for the worst. So really the only thing we saw about them
Mm-hmm.
was like uh the Sophia thing. So really I didn't care a lot about them,
actually,
honestly.
Mhm.
I think Elias or Elias still confuses me.
Still not sure.
I think he met Cage a lot sooner, like on the first day, the first assignment. Because I
Oh,
remember
that's right. That is right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I actually asked you to DM me a good time because you actually set a time for Elias to go meet Cage, but I didn't know the time, so I just skipped it.
That's right. So Cage was essentially going to... the plan was for Cage to do drugs with him.
Oh,
So, but that never came to fruition.
that never took.
So
Why did Kate die? Or is that too soon to ask? Because like
we're not there yet. We're
he
not there
just
yet.
We're not.
We're
I
not there
know,
yet.
but like I you know, fuck,
We will get
he,
there.
he just disappeared, and there was no
Yeah.
explanation.
He's gone. No,
He's
he's
gone.
gone.
He was
gone.
like,
He's
he
gone.
took the logs, and he was gone.
He's out. He's out. He's gone.
He's gone. He's gone.
He was gone.
Here's a secret. You're talking to Cage right now. I am Cage.
Of course you are.
Huh?
You play as him.
No.
We know you play literally the mom and the police and the detective and a baby and a grandpa that fuck his own doctor and
By the way,
a
I
lot
am
of fucking stuff.
so much happier I didn't have to play as many NPCs this time. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's another. So here's a little director's cut. Spoiler alert. There was another video that I had planned, had Zozo picked it, of, and it's probably for the best it didn't happen, but of the event of Chrysalis
No.
engaging with. Yeah.
Oh God.
Um,
And this is
Fire,
Oh.
this
I
is like
hate
the
you for putting
opposite
that
of
image in my
like
head.
divines. Like if she has so that like for one it's terrible to see it, but at the same time it had give us a huge clue about like what the hell was going on.
yes.
So
So
it's like
yeah,
it is sacrifice of your eyes for everyone's safety.
it was so there's a little confusion about why that part was in it. And yes, I do love shock value, but it actually what the doctor was trying to achieve was fusing species together. So the natural progression, this is actually based on Nazi experiments, which is unfortunate, but they did a lot of awful things, of course, as we know. But they were trying to see if they could fuse humans with animals through zoophilia and crossbreeding and stuff like that. And then when the idea wasn't exactly working, there was just the idea of let's just sew these motherfuckers together, which
Mhm.
which like obviously just does not. There's for anyone who is crazily thinking about this, there is no way for humans and animals to exist in the same body. It cannot happen. Do not try this at home, folks. If anyone out there was
We
wondering.
won't.
Remember the Fanog I have? Like he's like this investment of animals and those that like kind of legal stuff, but because of the money really rather than for anything. And this makes me remember how fuck up sometimes like people do just to like survive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is at in this weapon it isn't for like survive. It's just because these motherfuckers just wanted like weapons of mass destruction.
Yep.
So
They nasty. They
Well,
nasty.
it's not. Well, it's not like it's not possible. It is possible, but our human body is built in a way that it just our white blood cells specifically just don't want foreign antigens to come in, any kind of foreign antigens. So even if you get like a heart transplant from another human, your body will slowly try to like push it away and make it fail.
Yeah. Oh, you better
So
work, Nathan. By the way, Nathan knows about all this. Nathan's a pharmacist, so you
who's
better know
trust me,
things.
Nathan?
Oh
it's
yeah.
Nate,
Nate.
the guy we played poker with like 2 days ago.
Oh wait!
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
who
He for some
who
reason changed.
okay.
destroyed you guys?
He for some reason changed his name to Chinese. Is it Chinese characters? But
It's
Okay, I was confused
Japanese.
because I remember Nathan, but I was like, okay, wait, I know I heard this name, but from where? And I forgot about this fucking poker game.
so Elena has a very interesting scene with the doctor, where the doctor, Elena or Zozo rolled a 2, so I had no choice but to have because I was fully going to have the doctor walk past her, but she rolled a 2, so the doctor decided to take a hard left and go into the media room, and and they had a bit of a confrontation. And the thing that I love the way Elena, Zozo plays Elena as just this complete like, for lack of a better word, like animal trapped in a corner. Like Elena was like like always freaking out, always like, and kind of rightfully so. But she was like
Yeah.
always on 10, which I loved that. I love the character that's like, we got to get out, we have to go, I can't do this anymore, we have to leave. Like I love that energy. So Elena, of course, like, because the funny thing is I actually wasn't gonna have the doctor do anything to her. Like I fully planned for him to sort of be menacing and be like, what are you doing here, why are you doing this, and using his stature as a way to intimidate her. But like Zozo or Elena, I don't know which, they might be one and the same, fully chose to believe that they were about to get murdered. So they were like, Elena like straight up kicked the doctor, like fully like threw reels at him, like got all up in his face. It was glorious and I loved it.
I wish
It
that
was like
happened.
catharsis.
Yeah,
It was like
like
catharsis.
I loved
and
it.
not. It's even funny because when you think about it, that kind of reaction would have saved the whole Lee's character thing. Like if
Yeah.
she was actually like paying attention, I was thinking, why wouldn't this coffee have the log? why
Yeah.
wouldn't he tested on us? But of course, Elena, the only time the doctor would
Nothing
have done
else.
anything, she reacted like the most extreme way. So in a way, it's just like, yeah, you pay, you come back, but now everyone else is going to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
She totally went like, I'm not doing this. So then something very interesting happens. Then we get a little something that I did not. I mean, all credit to Liz. Liz was there's always one outlier in every RP, and
Oh
Liz
yeah.
was
Uh
fully
huh.
the outlier in this one. I was like, oh, fully, and I should expect this from Liz because I know Liz likes to go rogue in RPs, but I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
fully did not expect Chemo to have like a full on freak out and start to create some division in the group that I wanted to create, but didn't. I wasn't ready for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So Chemo
And you were
essentially,
faster and more efficient.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she went on the fast track on that one, which is great. I was
Yep.
behind. I was like that Mr. Burns gif going excellent. So essentially Chemo. So Zozo leaves. Not Zozo. Elena leaves, and there's a confrontation between the Doctor, Elena, and Chemo, and Elena is yelling at the Doctor and being very loud and boisterous, and Chemo is sort of like Chemo is also freaking out because she's very sensitive and she's upset that Elena doesn't like her, and and at first, like as a player, I was like, this is so chaotic and doesn't make sense. And then I was like, oh, but I can use this. Excellent. Um,
Yeah, I forgot. Like, if they didn't have this like battle, like they would have gone like got out of the wolf thing sooner. But of course, that happened, so everyone took a while for that, and one of the wolves is got them. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I actually forgot. She got injured too because of like Elena got injured, and in the end that really paid her off in the end. At the end, anyways. But well. I have lots to say about that chill fire.
So,
Lots of them.
listen. Um, so, um, Chemo heads into the lab with the Doctor, and earlier, I think this actually happened earlier on. The Doctor was in the was the tea scene with Eric and Sophia or before the Chemo scene or after? It was before, right?
Before.
Yeah.
It was freaking before.
So so my plan was to have the Doctor talk to Eric about being like, "What the fuck are you doing with Sophia? Like, why are you doing this? She's and sort of alluding to her being like a weakling and like you could be strong. I see a lot of potential in you. Like, don't bog yourself down in this." But he got both of them, so he decided to talk to both of them about why they shouldn't. Alluding to why they shouldn't be in a relationship, especially during the study, and I saw this as another opportunity to create some division in the group, and I failed.
Nothing, Cassie.
And I tried to, so I basically tried to see, because what I had the Doctor picking up on was that Eric didn't feel the same way as Sophia. How did you guys feel about that?
I really
Oh,
like
come on.
it was a bad attempt, not because of how you did it, because you did it great, but because of the character not picking up that like both of them love each other. It's just because Eric wasn't like going back at her just because of something that happened earlier, like early in his life that no one he told no
Right.
one.
Yes.
So really, like the only thing that went wrong there is because Eric had other motives. It wasn't that he didn't love her; it's just that he didn't know if
For
she would
sure.
suffer the same fate.
And
Mm-hmm.
he tried very hard to embarrass Sophia, and it all just blew up in, well, not blew up in his face, but it all just it all worked in favor of the loving couple and not of the Doctor. So the Doctor got
You
bored
still
of.
sound
Ha ha!
In the end, that everyone
Nothing.
died except the fucking evil student, but that's for the future.
So, which is
I thought.
interesting because the Doctor ended up giving both of them tea, which everyone was very suspicious about.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. So it serves you all right for being so mean to the doctor.
Except the other coffee that
Okay, well,
this character drank.
Okay,
Aaron
so
was never mean to the doctor, though.
that is true.
Yeah.
He treated him with
No,
respect.
Sophia, don't forget about her.
Eric.
And
what
Sophia.
So eventually, so next,
what did you say? I misheard
wait, what did
it.
who?
I don't. What?
I
Nothing
said
but.
neither was Sophia.
Sophia was not. No, Sophia was not disrespectful to the doctor. Sophia was just weak. In the doctor's eyes.
Nothing gussy.
So eventually,
Weak. But then, like, oh boy, that emotional resolve is also the only reason why Eric like stayed alive for that long. So.
So then he pulls in Chemo to talk about. He was gonna figure out a way to talk about hurt. Oh, wait a second. We have to talk about what happened behind the scenes.
Oh, what
Okay.
happened behind
So,
the scenes?
so I introduced something to the Cryptidverse RP, which were I'm so glad we have Nick here for private conversations. So there were things that were happening. There were things that were happening off screen, we'll say, that I took to the DMs. So
Okay.
so everyone's like shock gag. Oh, so in efforts to make some division in the group, the doctors began creating alliances with the two students he felt were the strongest.
Alexander and
And Elias.
who
Elias.
else?
Yes.
Elias.
So
This only happened in the DMs, right?
yes,
Like
this
private
only
DMs.
this happened in
In
the
the
private
DMs,
DMs. Yeah. And it was any time. So it was any time that the lab doors closed. So the rule was that I couldn't have any private.
That the lab doors closed. I was wondering, why the hell did you close the lab doors so much? That was something I was like, okay, that detail he never like specifically did it so many times.
I thought it
That
was so
was
suspicious because
yeah,
Fire
same.
closed the lab
Like-
doors,
Yeah.
and then you just see me jumping. Elias exits the lab.
Yes, which is so funny because
Is there
no
why
one clocked it. No one clocked it, which was my favorite thing ever. It would just be
Is
like,
that
yeah.
why there was a lot of? Is there why there was a lot of pause breaks between when you guys were talking?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least you.
Yeah. It would literally be like, "Can I talk to you for a second, Nick?" The doctor closes the doors. Nick opens the lab doors and leaves. That would literally be it. And like no one clocked it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so perfect." So do you?
I was literally say I want to say something about it, but I was like, is this something about the game or is it like I was wondering? I was going to talk about it, but I said I was like, should I? I don't know.
So
But-
so I will read. I'll go ahead. I'll just wait. Do you want to read it, Nick, or do you want me to read it?
What?
Do you want me to read the DM conversation, or do you want to read it?
I could read.
Okay, go for it.
Where is it? Where does it start?
It starts right before your. We sent two gifts to each other.
Oh yeah.
Everyone feels so betrayed. I love it.
This is not fair, you know.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
like
when this is when that thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
wait, I'm
doctor looks at Elias. I apologize for what you saw. I see what you. No, that's a problem. I saw nothing. And then he just sends me, "Welcome to the new feature of NHC Cryptidverse, private conversations."
Yeah. I enjoyed
private.
it. Yes, private.
Right.
Yeah,
May I
private
explain
conversation.
myself briefly? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the group does not understand what the study has been. As of now, I'm sure you know about the drug I have been testing on Marley and his girlfriend. The drug is meant to create an aggressive trait in humans that is like the animal. I gave this to Marley, and he seemed to have wreaked havoc on your dogs. Yes, Fire.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we did not get there. I am so sorry. I forgot that this
The
happened.
dogs.
Yes. So,
Ah.
so the next
Oh
day,
boy.
so this happened. So the doctor pulled a Nick after the next day. Everyone wakes up, and Sophia, poor Sophia, wakes up and sees what happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
doesn't
wait,
Elena
it
wake
made
up?
me
Yeah,
wonder.
Elena
Okay,
wakes
okay, can
up.
we talk about the
Wait, Elena
spears?
wakes up.
Okay, Fire,
Elena,
please
We'll
tell me
get.
about the fucking spears.
God, wait. Let's let Shadow describe what Sophia sees first.
Okay, 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 okay,
okay,
okay.
so Elena wakes up, and then Sophia this is like after Sophia had like a little problem sleeping because of something that happened the day prior. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she goes to the outside of the room because Elena was there, and then she asked what's wrong, and then she looks past Elena and sees Alfredo hanging from the roof, the head barely connecting to the body of the poor dog.
Oh. Oh boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the big event that we're talking about. So everyone gets very upset. We'll talk about. Okay, so we will talk about the spears, Taka, because I know you're very interested in the spears.
Yeah, like okay, I know the number for the Atletarian, but I know the spears couldn't be because like you mentioned it a few times. You were like, okay, and what were they for in the end? I suppose it was something that you had to accelerate because of like Lee's character. Like you mentioned them and then you never mentioned them again. I was super suspicious about that.
Well, so I didn't allude to this strongly enough, but the way so essentially there's a very small line earlier, and I can't remember where it was, but essentially the way that the doctor's son and father got these animals was by basically working through a poaching company. So the spears came from. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's frightening. Sorry. The spears came
Okay.
from. The spears essentially came from their trips around the world poaching animals. So, and I didn't make that clear enough, and so that's why I sort of like didn't talk about the spears anymore. But I mean, it never really came up again, so it didn't really matter. I dropped the ball on that one just a little bit. I will admit that
No,
one.
no, that's okay. Honestly,
Yes.
I was thinking it was like I was first thinking they were like gladiators or something, but I was like, no, yeah, that doesn't make even sense. That's okay though. I think really the only problem was that like Liz was playing a game, you know, the chaotic one, so you had to select things and everyone forgot about like data in the beginning. So
Yes.
really it wasn't your fault. It was just that it went like fast again like the vines.
Yes.
It just happened.
Yeah, things got a
So
little
still
crazy. So,
So I'm still happy there was actually a clue. I'm still happy because I'm still not going to forgive you over the fucking numbers.
so now you may continue. After all of that, you now may continue the letter, Nick.
The
Yeah,
letter.
continue, please.
So my lady seemed to have wreaked havoc on your dogs. For that, I am truly sorry. I do not mean I didn't. It's miswritten, and I
Yes.
know this is the first time you
I
wrote
don't
this.
know why the song is so like God and funny.
Now it's not.
And for that, I'm truly sorry that your dogs tied to a fucking maniac with dogs. Oh God, it just sounds so funny out of
I did not seem for this. Your feelings
I'm
do not
sorry. I'm
seem to
sorry. I'm
understand.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen,
Okay.
sorry. I'm
Wait a
sorry it
second.
happened.
Oh God. Oh God. It's okay. Oh God. I'm sorry. Okay.
I love it.
Go
I love
ahead.
it.
Oh fuck.
So into it. I did not mean for this to happen. Your fellow students do not seem to understand this, but I suspect you do based on your finding and your response to animal aggression and killing. I want you to help me, please. I have not been able to find an assistant I can trust, but I believe you can be that. Trust trustworthy person for me. Please do not tell the others. We'll communicate by hiding letters in the air vents next to the lab and the bathroom. You are the
So
only,
that's
in
why the
caps,
letters.
I
That
can
is like
trust
a
at this point.
that's like too elaborate, even for this cryptid RP.
And
It
he
ended up
only sent
working.
me like 2 letters.
Yeah, I mean we only exchanged about like 2 letters essentially, so it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering what was the other letter if there were more because we know Alex got one. I he never didn't get it done. She should have it in his body always. I was wondering what the other letters were.
Yeah, so they communicated with him that way. I'm just surprised Derek didn't freaking notice it happened while he was while he was still wide awake reading his book at the nighttime.
Didn't you just
So
tell us that he was like a workaholic? Some of
Workaholic.
my choice he work a lot. Yeah,
Yes.
that he just concentrated around his books a lot. I mean, he got his like first love after Susie die again, and then the other people die. So it's like, why would you focus on a leather?
So,
Hmm.
how did Elias respond to this letter after he said, "What do you
Oh yeah.
say?"
What do you say? Let us stop for a moment. Maybe I can get something out of this. It will be a pleasure, Dr. Helsvik. Just on one condition. Anything. I never took advantage of this condition, by the way. I get free access to the entire facility, including the sanctuary. And Elias presented the hand for the handshake. The doctor shakes his hand. Deal. I'm sure you know the code is the 2 devil's numbers by now. 6613.
Every time I see the devil's number now, I'm going to get reminded of that fucking let's say thank
Wait,
you, fire.
You're welcome.
wait, then Elias could have gotten Eric out if Elias knew where Eric was.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have. Well, no.
Yeah.
That was the number. So here's the thing. The doctor also kind of doctor told a couple fibs in this conversation, but that's not the only number that Elias would have needed to know. Elias didn't get free
Oh yeah.
access to the full thing because he didn't go to where the other lab was. Leslie
Yeah.
part of the lab. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, Eric was the only one that remembered the fucking number of the father. So technically, it wasn't only that number for the devil. It was when the I don't remember why it was because, but I know it was related to the father of the doctor. So
yeah,
he couldn't have gotten out at the
Wait,
end,
this is
anyways.
another thing I hate you so much about Fire.
Mhm.
This happens to me all the time. Like I'm searching for something, and then I get mediocre numbers, and you're like beating around the bush.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So,
like
sometimes I tease you guys.
yeah.
I
I mean, like,
remember.
you're
Sorry,
just gonna
sorry.
keep us in the. At this point, if you're just gonna keep us in the dark about new features of the Cryptidverse, I swear I'm gonna hunt you down, like, pull out all of the Bali songs that I can buy from Batangas and just stab you with them.
Listen, it didn't work out for Elias in the end. Spoiler alert. So,
Yeah.
What? Wait. It worked out for Alex. Okay, to be fair,
well,
Alex didn't like. Okay, to be fair, Alex didn't participate a lot. He was in key parts of the roleplay that were interesting, and then he just went poof. So theoretically
Yeah.
speaking, I
well,
suppose he was that demon.
that's not
And
entirely his fault.
I
So,
mean,
What do you mean?
totally fair. Totally fair.
I'm going to read in Shai's DMs because Shai is not here. But Alexander finds a letter under his pillow. Dear Alexander, the rest of your group does not understand what the study has been. As of now, I'm sure you know about the drug I've been testing on Marley and his girlfriend. The drug is meant to create an aggressive trait in the human that is like the animal. I gave this to Marley, and he seemed to have wreaked havoc on your dogs. For that, I am truly sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. Your fellow students do not seem to understand this. I suspect you do based on your findings and your response to animal aggression and killing. I want you to help me, please. I've not been able to find an assistant I can trust, but I believe you can be that trustworthy person for me. Please do not tell the others. We'll communicate by hiding letters in the air vent next to the lab and the bathroom. If you agree to this, please
Copy
write back
paste.
and put it in the vent next to the lab. You are the only person I can trust at this point.
So
Wow.
both of them like a
Copy-pasting bit.
fiddle then.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Same
he's
both
like
of them.
he's like double crossing the both of them
he's
because it's
he's
like
double dipping.
competition.
He's double dipping. Yeah, he's basically setting up a competition reality show to see who can be the next America's or Sweden's next top lab assistant.
Lab
Yeah.
assistant.
I mean, at this point, I'm just glad that Eric didn't even like take. I'm just glad that Eric's like character is just like, oh, he's like he recognizes the unethical stuff of this like right away.
Yeah,
So he's just
Eric
like,
was too
nope,
lawful
that-
good. Way too lawful
There,
good.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
too lawful. Yeah, so
um,
He
much
was
of
the
a lawful.
definition of a gentleman.
so,
I'm just gonna hot freaking take. He's more of a gentleman than Alex is. Yeah,
wow. Well,
hot freaking.
well,
Honestly, no,
Hot
yeah,
take.
honestly, yeah.
here's a
because
hot
there's-
take. One
there's
of them
one-
died and one of them survived. So there's my hot
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
No, okay. Honestly, hot take. Eric was more interesting than Alex. 100%.
Wow. I revert you back to my hot take. One of them's still dead. So,
Still,
And I remember
I
you
mean,
in a
like,
hot take.
I'm still
One
gonna.
of them,
I
one
mean,
of them died in a interesting way. When the others survived because they were pussy, and they literally were a court character.
Did Taka really say that one of them survived because they were a pussy?
Exactly.
oh God.
Poor
Is
Alex.
Taka wrong? Is
Am
Taka
I wrong?
wrong?
Please tell me. Am I wrong? Because Alex only talked 3 times, and it was to the doctor actually.
Oh my
Like
God.
he didn't talk a lot to anyone except Elias when he was going to die anyways. So it's like, am I wrong? Because he didn't just interacted to the doctor. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to survive, even if I have to interact with this guy.
Yeah.
He was a coward and a bad betrayer, and he
Oh,
was cold.
And
And he didn't interact with anyone else, so it was interesting.
so here's
that was my hot take.
so here's my thing was that because to get to the ending that I wanted to get to, which is the ending that we got, I would have had to align with a couple people. And the only 2 people that were like the strongest contenders were Elias and Alex, but I wasn't entirely sure that they were going to go along with the plan. And I was really nervous because there is a scenario, and it almost happened, where
Because of Elias, right?
because of Elias, where the doctor would have been killed, which I was prepared for.
Yeah, I asked you.
He
I
DM'd,
asked you.
yeah, Nick DM'd me and said, "Is it okay if I shoot the doctor at some point or whatever?" And I was like, "Anything can happen. You will just have to roll for it."
Oh, that's why you were not shooting him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were in a call and we were constantly saying him, shoot him, just shoot him, please shoot him.
Yeah, I was literally in the voice chat, screaming at him, please fucking shoot him. And I was like, why are you not fucking shooting the fucking doctor?
Ugh.
I thought we actually thought the doctor was gonna die from the circuit breaker.
Actually, yeah, really,
We
that was
called it.
a bit meta.
was-
Like, no way he would have survived that. He was
Swift actually
paralyzed.
called
You
that.
can survive. I mean, I did the thing when I rolled the 1. I thought about it. I was like, "Can you die from a circuit break, little jolt?" And I was like,
Yes.
it's very.
I mean, like
Ye-
if you have like enough voltage.
Yeah.
No,
enough.
It's
The
a
thing
circuit
If you have
breaker
enough
with a-
current,
Yeah,
if you
the
have enough
problem is
current,
that
you
I
will die.
feel like they will have enough current. Like,
Well, yeah,
it's
it
the
is a
only
circuit
floor that has
breaker.
no stairs connected to it. The thing is the only place with the stairs, and they have the sanctuary. That probably that takes a whole lot
I
of
just
electricity.
I just
to
felt
be
like
fair.
if he was doing the circuit breaker to the whole building, maybe, but I don't know that he would have died from a circuit breaker to a small floor of a wing. And also the circuit breaker, well, the way that I had it set up there, that's not the circuit breaker for the entire floor either. That's just the circuit breaker for the lab,
The lab.
and the back room. So I was like, I just didn't feel like that was enough current to be like, ugh, kill him. But I mean, I would have maybe allowed it if it was like the circuit breaker to
Guys,
the entire
request
floor.
to speak. Is it okay if I put him on?
Yes. Wait, who's putting it? What's happening?
So good. Shy.
Hi, Shy. Oh my God, yay, Shy.
Hi!
Shy is
Hello.
here.
Hello!
Oh,
Shy!
Hello.
Okay, you missed like half of the thing. We need you to talk.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So first of all, we'll start with Shy. Shy, can you introduce how you came up with your character and the backstory and all that stuff?
Uh-huh.
Okay. First, he originated as a character for the wines, but I mean, at the time I had the wine Stempler, right? So he was a teenager. And so basically, at first, I made him a kind of a sociopath. Like, he's not very nice. He used to conduct experiments on like birds and worms and all that. And just that's his basic backstory. So he was
Perfect.
from a rich family. He was very invested in science and just did experiments all the time.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Like we practically did a roleplay practice in the company chat right there. I mean, it was with a different character. I used a different character with the first interaction with his OC. So, like that particular character is also based on another person in my old notes. So, who is actually Eric Manatislo's friend. So yeah, moving on. Shy.
And I actually based him off of a certain character. The name is the same though, so I based him off this guy.
Oh wait, we gotta look in the.
Bonfire chat.
Yep. I
Oh,
saw
interesting. Oh, cool. Well, it worked out for you.
No, not gonna lie. When I was trying to find a picture for him, I was trying to find fan art, but I couldn't find any. I spent 2 hours looking for fan art, but I didn't find any with his mask off, which kind of sucked.
So we're
Man, that must have sucked, honestly. Like, you were trying to so hard to find fan art and you just had to make another thing.
so
Anyhow, moving on.
we're at the point where I had given
Wait, Liz!
Liz is here. Oh my gosh, Liz,
Okay, Sean, please, we need to hear.
come
Okay,
through,
this is actually a lot of
Liz.
people. Oh God.
All right,
What are we talking about?
Liz, introduce your character from the Fox. We're talking about the Fox right now. Are you there, Liz? The outlier of them all, the one who
character's last name. Hold on.
the one who shifted everything.
So my character, her name was Kimo Suga. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, how did you come up with her? Like, what was the inspiration behind Kimo? Oh wait, did I cut out? Did you hear me?
No, we hear you.
Oh, okay.
I think Liz just came up with it, like, whoever. I feel like, because like
I think it was just on the spot, maybe.
On the spot?
maybe because if she's not talking, okay, can you hear us, Liz, or is she into the pot or something? Because we're talking. Liz?
Are you there, Liz?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah, you heard us finally. Okay.
There you go.
For instance, how did you come up with your character?
What was your inspiration? What was your inspiration? How did you come up with Kimo?
Don't ask me for that. I don't know.
All right, that makes
I
sense.
was like watching. I was watching random videos, and then I was just like, oh, I'm gonna make this character based off of one thing in my life.
There you go. That works.
That works.
It's from Japan, which I appreciate you not picking someone from America or the UK. It's good. No shade, no shade.
I didn't want somebody from America or the UK.
There you go.
And it kind of gave That's my character storyline too. Fire, I'm
Yeah.
still mad at you.
You should be. You should be mad at Roland, to be honest.
Why?
But
No, no, okay.
oh, we will
I
get
am
there.
mad at you for another thing. I am super mad at you for wanting this role play.
So this is a
And
great.
it's worse than Mickey. Wait, who left? Wait,
So
someone
Come
left.
on,
Wait, oh god, someone left. Okay.
who left?
Sorry.
Oh,
It was Shadow.
Ah,
oh, Swift's still
yes.
here.
oh,
Swift's right in chat.
who's here?
But
What do you
Oh,
want?
Shadow's there. It was Shadow.
Shadow.
Shadow's coming
Okay,
back.
here we go.
So what ended up happening was this is also great. So we've realized that I don't know if you knew about this, Shy, but the doctor sent that same letter that was on your on Alex's pillow was the speech verbatim that he gave to Elias. He was trying to see which one of you would be best suited for the assistant position, and in a perfect world, it would have been both of you. But you know, someone decided to be a little goody two shoes, and so next, this is great that Liz is here because the doctor pulls Chemo in to the lab, and
Jesus.
so you know they're trying to they're trying to figure out. Yes,
I have a question before
I
we
shouldn't
move
have
on.
let her drink that tea.
I have a question before we move on.
of course.
The part you said about DM thing, could people actually and
Oh
talk
my
to other
god.
players too?
Yes, people could have done that with other players too. Yeah, people could have private conversations with other players too.
Okay, question about the mechanic. Is this going to stay forever or is this just for this one
No,
roleplay?
it was just for this one roleplay. We might bring it back later, but
I meant
you know,
I meant it more like what you told to Elias, right? As like, don't say it to others. What if he said to others, like other players?
I thought about that. I was prepared for that scenario for both of them. And what would have happened would have been that the doctor, well, with Elias, it would have been easier to discount. I mean, he would have just denied. He would have just denied. That's all. Yeah, that's really my only plan, and it would have gotten really chaotic from there, I'm sure.
Well, if
What
two of them
what
come
if I did?
forward, yeah, if two of them come forward, it wouldn't actually work. You denying though.
Well, what would have happened? I mean, there is a scenario that I wrote on my chart, which is that the students band together and overtake the lab, and bring the doctor to justice one way or another, which I would have allowed. I would have fully allowed that, and then I would have made sure that there's another ending where Cage becomes the doctor. Because the thing is, I needed someone to become the doctor.
I would have loved that ending. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Would've been
I'm
perfect.
going to be honest. That was
Yeah.
I was wondering because like the only thing that didn't fit in the whole thing was who's going to become the doctor.
Yes.
Because if he dies, who does? Because like it doesn't make sense for him to die. If he does die, because you wouldn't allow for someone to survive, even if he gets a shot in the head, it would be like who does become the doctor? So that would have been actually nice. But that does mean Cage would have died.
Well,
And that would be weird.
if we're talking like Telltale, if this was like a Telltale game, the canon ending is what actually happened in the Fox. And I'll explain at the end because we're getting ahead of ourselves.
So
But
Okay.
But so Chemo is trying to figure out how to open the elevator. The elevator is not working. Even after Elena bangs on it and screams and cries, somehow that doesn't open the elevator. Funny. And and Chemo decides to use tools, like some normal people do. And so she goes into the lab. He says, the doctor casually says, I might have some tools here. Goes into the lab and says, hey, why don't you take a load off, hang out, I'll find your tools. Hey, that tea over there, that innocuous tea over there. Yeah.
I'm still wondering why he didn't suspect the fucking tea.
It's I think it tastes really good. I know you're a tea drinker. I don't know if you were into that sort of thing. And she refuses at first. And I was like, God damn it.
Because I was suspicious of that tea.
You
And
should
then I
have
was
What's
been
just
more
like,
going
I'm
on?
gonna make
suspicious.
the
You
doctor
should
feel
have
bad,
been
and I
more.
didn't want to do that. And my feelings of real life came to
Tea.
heart, and I was like, dang it.
I
Which is and I gave the red herring of having served tea to two other characters where nothing happened, which I hoped would help. And so eventually, after some what I felt was very obvious pushing from the doctor, um, ended up Chemo ended up drinking the tea, and and
And
then
that's what everything went to the pain. Because
and
now we have another student.
so so here's the thing: is that I wanted to make sure that the agent, as it's called, is activated during a moment of aggression. So I was hoping that Chemo and Elena would get into a fight, and it happened almost instantaneously, which is great.
Oh yes.
Oh, but here is the part that I really wanted to talk about. So, the doctor
I am so
writes.
confused on this.
Don't worry,
What
it's
just
gonna get
happened.
there. So the doctor writes a note to Elias to deliver to the women's dorm,
Yeah.
and the note, which actually Zozo shared, the note ended up saying, let me see if I can find it. Let me find Zozo's thing and I'll read it out.
But could you like post the notes in the Fox so we
I'll
can go through it one?
Yeah, I will do that. I will post in the Fox. I was posting.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like putting at least the notes for like when we like talk about it in the future. Sometimes and then everyone, the
Everyone will have
newbies,
it.
just try to read it. Yeah,
Taka can get angry every day by reading those.
Yeah.
I am again the actual guys here, the vines and the quick parks. And
So
the worst thing is that they want the shorter ones choose. So I'm like, why fire? Why?
so this is where the plan really messed up. So the doctor writes a note that is meant for Chemo, and
Oh, that's okay. I
so
remember the note now. I
so
remember the note.
That's why
That
the names were switched up.
so
they
he
was it.
so he handed it to Elias and he said, "Put it in the women's dorm. Just slip it under the women's dorm. The person who will get it will get it." And what happened was that Elena was busy at the elevator, and Chemo was going to go back to, at some point, was hopefully going to go back to the dorm and receive this letter. What happened was the opposite. So Elias slipped. So Elena saw Chemo. I think Elena saw Chemo and retreated back to the dorm to get away from her, and Elias bolted from the study room to the women's dorm and slipped it under as Elena was in there and Chemo was at the elevator. When I had them in my mind, they were going to be switched the other way. So Elena
Oh God.
received a letter that she wrote somehow. And the letter reads, "Chemo, you fake bitch. I dare you to talk to me like that again, you cunt. I swear to God, the next time I see you, I'm going to kill you and your whole family, Elena." So Elena was a little confused about this.
Yeah.
Jokes on them.
I
Her
mean,
family
who
was
who
dead.
wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Like they receive a note from
Who writes a letter
themselves.
to themselves? Holy
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly. It's like, hold on. Why is this directed to Kimo? And why did I wrote it? And when did I wrote it?
So, yeah, Elena was a little confused by this because she didn't write it. And it's funny because Nick and I, out of character, I basically was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up." And Nick was like, "Is this okay?" And I'm like, "No, it's probably good that my plans get thwarted at some point. So it's good. We'll figure out how the Fallout works. It's fine.
I
It'll be
think
fine."
the funny thing in the end, no one literally talked about the note. Like it was missing once, and no
was
one was thinking maybe someone
so
carried
funny.
so just. It was like,
What
why?
note?
Yeah, it was never discussed, and I was like, "Wow,
What
this
note?
the wait, are you genuinely asking what note? The note we just read?
I don't know what note it is.
Oh,
Then, oh,
so
yeah,
essentially,
it's
so I'll just lay it out for you. The doctor essentially was trying to activate the agent that he just put in Chemo's tea by sending her this fake note from Elena. The problem was that Elena received the note before Chemo did, or she wasn't supposed to receive it all, but Elena got the note, and it didn't work, essentially. So the way that the doctor had assumed that the 613 agent worked with the substance that causes aggression in animals was that if you activate the rage so basically the doctor realized that Chemo was, for all intents and purposes, an unstable person, perhaps. So he thought that if he would use her as the aggressive person, and then we could really see how this agent works in humans.
I found it.
What'd you find?
the note.
I found the letter that was posted in the lobby May 9th,
Oh yeah.
6
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah, there it is. We just read it. So, but that, yeah, so that was the note. But what ended up happening is that so yeah, Elena grabbed the note and read it, and what happened was that Chemo got to the dorm after Elena and was talking to her, and Elena was ignoring her, and I was like, wait a second, I think this is going to work anyway. So I was waiting
I should
for
have done that.
Chemo to sort of get upset. I was like, as a player, I was like, if I see Chemo, if I see Liz type anything about Chemo getting upset or bothered, then I'm gonna activate the agent. So
I didn't say she was
Wait.
getting bothered.
Didn't
You
we
just
actually
made me
skip? Wait,
roll.
Fire. Didn't we skip the part where the first vote? Because I remember there was the mention of cancer patients there. Or was that out of? I remember that we skipped that part actually because
which part?
the part
What?
where Chemo and Elena first fought before the lock thing.
No, we talked about it.
when-
We talked about it. It was right after the doctor and Elena had their fight.
yeah.
And
I don't. Did we discuss about the cancer thing ever, or was that just of love? I never understood the line actually.
which part?
The cancer thing.
Oh,
Was that just of
the
love?
the
Or
cancer thing. I don't remember the cancer thing.
like he mentioned
What
like when Elena was going away that
The
that
doctor
he
said
that,
that the agent could possibly
Cure
cure diseases
cancer.
that are incurable to
yeah
man.
that was
Yes.
of love, right? Or
No. So this is the interesting thing, is that the doctor's understanding of
Me scrolling all the way up in the Fox just to see what just happened.
the doctor
Uh,
for those who are following along, we're at about 5:09/2021. We're at May 9th in the story. So the doctor's understanding of what the agent can do is a little bit skewed, because I think, as we all are clear here, it doesn't quite make sense that this would cure cancer. Nor would it.
yeah,
So
like
Fire,
it was.
fire.
Yes,
I found it.
you found it. Okay.
Kimo wasn't getting mad. You just made me roll.
I mean, she's
You
getting
made me roll.
she's getting ignored. So I had her get mad.
She was getting ignored. Doesn't mean she was getting mad.
yeah, that's a bit suspicious. So Fire.
Something very different.
Fire.
What?
Fire.
Yes.
Just because Chemo died, I will support you no matter, even if it is the wrong decision.
It was
my
the right
gosh,
decision.
why?
It was the right
Why?
decision.
I
Kimo
can't
did have a
believe you.
redemption
It
arc.
was
A
Why?
redemption.
Why?
What's her name? I forgot names. Hang on. I killed Sophia for no reason.
Oh God, I love that. One of the greatest scenes. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. So
We're like about to get there, right?
Wait,
yeah, we're about to get
okay.
there.
So to clarify the thing, so
People started
he,
hating
he
my
thinks
character,
like
man.
he thinks it actually can cure cancer, but it doesn't. It just makes people aggressive, right? That's what I
Yes.
understand.
Yes. So
Okay.
what he
It's
assumed,
a joke.
the science that he falsely assumed was, or foolishly assumed, was that if the aggressive if the body can get aggressive, why can't the cells get aggressive? So in his mind,
It's
he would think that the cells would become, because essentially what happens in cancer is that like your body your body's cells are weakening. So in order to
That's actually very smart. That's
Mm-hmm.
very smart.
so I mean it's it sounds it's not possible. Like,
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
It's
if it's
definitely not
possible,
possible.
the
because
thing is,
yeah.
if the cells get aggressive, they will kill anything. Even it didn't matter if they were weak. So yeah,
Yeah,
even
well,
if it worked, it will get it's the cells to kill each other no matter what. So it will be
Yes.
easier for the
well,
cancer in the
Let's
end.
keep
if
explaining
if it did happen, the heart would pump too much and the heart would blow up.
Yeah.
The valve
Yeah,
wouldn't
Yeah.
able
Yeah,
to
you'd
keep
have
it
a
up.
you'd have a full on heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, one way or the other, it's not good.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing that starts it all, Chemo starts breathing really, really hard and tensing her face, and people put some eye emojis and the frig emoji, a famous the frig emoji from New Hell City. And Chemo falls to her knees. She starts breathing heavy. Elena continues to ignore her. Chemo is able to get herself off the floor, and she sees how much Elena disregards her. And then we get into the Chemo 613 scene, which is one of my favorite scenes of all of the Cryptidverse. I love this scene so much.
How dare you?
It's so
I love
Firefly,
it
you
too.
have no idea how convenient that scene
Favorite one of
was
your favorite
for all.
scenes.
I don't know what scene we're talking about, but I love it.
so essentially I keep wanting to say Liz, and I'm like, no, Liz is not Chemo. Chemo.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
You
I keep doing that
my
with Zozo too. So
This is
Yeah,
Kimo
I'll do that right
confirmed.
now.
Chemo starts to freak out, and this is one of the things where the roles reverse. So the higher the roll, the the higher the roll, the
angrier.
the angrier she got. So it's the higher the agent works is the higher the roll, and the lower the roll, the less it works. So so what is the first thing that she
I absolutely
does?
hated that you changed the dang thing on me.
Oh yeah, so Chemo gets really upset. She goes to the cafeteria, and this actually I felt so bad about, because I now pretty much controlled Chemo's character and what she did, which is so much fun. And so
I hate you.
Chemo went and grabbed a hot coffee pot from the cafeteria, and
Also convenient.
everyone out of character was like, no, 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 oh no, 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 no.
Even
What?
me!
Everyone was
I
so
didn't want to roll anymore because of you.
everyone
Oh,
was
boy.
so nervous
And
that
Why
Chemo
were-
was going to
Why were people nervous?
because Chemo was essentially going to throw hot coffee on Elena's face and crack her over the head with a hot coffee pot. Like it was like Chemo was going to fuck her up.
So glad that did not
Mhm.
happen.
Well,
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
Oh,
I mean,
man, I wanted to see that.
so
It
thankfully
was too close to
it did not happen. Liz rolled well,
but
Thank you.
but someone else got the brunt of it.
but she drops the hot coffee pot, and that alerts everyone. Everyone is like, what's going on, how's it going? So everyone surrounds Chemo, and Chemo is having this like inner struggle about like
breakdown.
total mental breakdown, trying to fight off the agent. Does really well for a lot of it, but
That's my
I
role,
mean,
but I'm not-
I guess you're welcome, and you should thank Rollum. Well, you should thank Rollum at this point. It's just not later.
Roll on my
Yeah,
Yeah,
freaking
because
too.
then
I mean, like,
just
Rollum's such a
just
goddamn
lost.
wild card at this point.
Yeah,
You
the
never
funny
thank
thing is
Roland.
like that like Eric survived because of Golem. Like literally, Golem was only making him survive until the end, until
Yep.
the doctor like put him in that
Yep.
cage,
So
and then the
yeah.
thing happened.
So I almost want to make this like a focus group. Raise your hand if you were assaulted by chemo. Which
I
is
am raising
essentially
my
Okay.
hand.
I
How
won.
do I raise my hand?
Kimo
yeah.
herself was insulted by her tank.
So I
Chemo
think
assaulted my mood.
I think the person that chemo hurt the most was, did she slash Elena at some point?
Nope.
Yeah,
No, she
Hmm.
slashed Sophia.
because of the leg
Fire.
thing. Remember, like Elena had to roll
Oh, I
Fire.
more.
did her leg.
Oh, yeah,
Does
she
that
bit her
count?
leg. That comes later.
Fire.
That's later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Elena on the leg, and then
I
of
I
think
did.
course
and
Sophia
then
I
was
did.
hurt the
first
Sophia.
I
most,
did
but
knock
casualty.
uh
Was
Elias off with and let her
I think that
survive.
that
Oh
person
yes,
was hurt the
technically
most.
Sophia was hurt the most, but we're not there yet. But it's in just in this circle. I remember she tossed Elias around a little bit.
She
Yep.
slashed Elias' face, and
Yeah, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
she broke one of his ribs on the wall.
Yeah,
Wait, he actually did. She actually did that. Oh God.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
Tossed
like
him
wait.
super
across
powerful.
the.
I remember
She
that
tossed him
really
across the
well.
room.
yeah.
I slept through all of that?
Chemo
Yep.
went Chemo went batshit
Uh-huh.
crazy after that.
Kimo was the most hurt in this one.
And
Oh
No,
boy.
never.
so then
Well, during that scene,
during that
not
scene, yes.
No.
not the last bit of it, but like
No,
that scene.
So
no, that's emotional pain. Elias broke a rib.
yeah, Elias really got tossed around like a rag
Oh,
doll.
I really wanted to do something,
What did you want to
which
do?
I didn't do, sadly.
Ooh, tell
I
us.
could
Did you
have
want to
prevented
stab
her death.
someone?
I could have prevented Sophia's death. I am
Yeah.
so sorry.
How is that?
I
I
was
mean,
gonna
like,
make her jump out
Shadow
a
and I
window.
basically discussed this in DMs. Like, should something happen to either of them? We already had it planned out in terms of what their last thoughts would be. Like, one or the other. Either way, like, we
Oh,
just
wow.
basically, like, speculated that, oh yeah, like, at some point they will definitely reunite in the afterlife. That's pretty much it.
It's always the same for
Okay.
you for your characters. Like either way,
Okay.
they're going to reunite with someone good. So it's like if they died, at least like have someone in the afterlife.
My
It's
original
After I've been part
plan.
of 3 RPs, I can most likely say couples always die. Even if it's siblings, they always die.
They always die.
Because
no,
fire's
no, no,
everywhere.
no. Okay, say strong connection because if you say couples, it sounds like the Fergusons again, and I
Anyone
don't
who
want to
pairs up.
remember that.
Anyone who pairs up, except
Guys,
yeah,
I have one thing to say.
yes.
What?
When Chemo ran into the study room, the rest of that was Elena's fault for knocking down the door.
Well,
What door?
we're not there yet because we're missing a very big chunk. We will get to that point. So
Okay,
eventually,
please don't skip.
Elena,
Skip.
I mean not Elena, Chemo rushes to the cafeteria,
Right.
and everyone
Tears off the fridge.
tears off the fridge. Everyone, three people corner, which is interesting because Elias did not do this, but three people go into corner, and possibly subdue. Oh, sorry, missed a point. The doctor brought out a sedative, brought out a syringe with a
Yeah.
sedative.
Oh,
And he got selective himself.
Chemo,
before that.
and the
Chemo did a
Yeah.
very Jackie Chan-esque move, and
Where are we on right now?
this is when
Like,
we're about to get to Sophia's death.
Oh God, no, please.
Scientifically, it's a good thing doctor didn't use the sedative.
Crying.
Chemo would have died.
Yeah.
Cameraman.
So he tries to use a sedative. Chemo flips it around and uses it on him. The doctor goes down. They grab the sedative. I think it was Elena who grabbed the sedative. They are like, let's all three. It's Elena, Eric, and Sophia decide to take on Chemo.
Oh God, why?
Everyone rolls, and it was literally like good roll, worst roll,
and then
and poor
Death.
chemo
Sophia.
slashes Sophia. Shadow, how did you feel about it?
I was not expecting for me to be the first death for the second time.
I'm
Second
so
time.
I'm so
Fire.
I
out
like
of
Yeah.
my mind.
okay, actually, this is funny because, like, technically speaking, is he always gets killed because of fire or Nick. There's no other character that kills him. It's always first and Nick or fire. No one else.
Again, Matthew. Matthew?
Yeah, you're right.
No, Matthew.
I have
Matthew
a-
was the other
I
guy.
feel like fire. I feel
Look.
like fire has a hatred for
Just saying, it
for
wasn't
for
me who killed.
psychology students. Fire has
Yeah.
a hatred for psychology students. Sophia was a psychology student. So was Matthew.
No,
Actually,
I
the
mean,
funny,
Sophia was more of a kid.
yeah.
No professionalism.
I think
Mhm.
yeah, I think the thing that
Yeah.
that maybe fire hated is that she was acting like a kid, like she was this cheerful party in everyone, like the puppies being killed and stuff. So probably even like her acting like that,
Yeah.
probably just like was a target.
Yeah.
Still though, like
Also,
You
I saw
know,
did I cut out? No,
I tried
no.
big chemo off of my anxiety, my social
Did-
anxiety.
Did I?
So you saw that at the beginning.
Is everyone just silent on purpose or what?
I didn't want
Did I
anything to
cut
kill
out?
her, man.
Yeah, it was accidental.
Good thing she
Hello?
was.
You there? Wait,
Hello?
wait.
Big.
Can you hear us,
Hello?
Nick? Nick, can you hear us?
Nick.
Hello?
Hello?
Nick.
Hello?
Okay.
What?
Hello?
Who can't
I'm
hear
live.
us? I can't tell if it's Shy or Nick. Who can't hear us?
okay,
Okay.
Nick
Yeah.
left. I think
Okay, I
he
think
was
he's
dead.
coming back. Okay.
Can anyone hear
Okay,
me?
well,
Yes, we can hear you.
Here.
yeah,
Can
we can hear
anyone?
you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think it was
We
Nick.
hear you.
Am I alive?
Yes.
Yeah, you're alive.
Mhm.
I,
Doing pretty.
everyone
Well.
went silent for a moment.
For now, you're alive.
Nothing. Yep.
Okay.
Nick,
So
wait, can you hear Nick or are you silent? Because
I hear him. I hear
I
Nick.
can hear Nick.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, probably. Okay, there we go. I wasn't hearing Nick. I was thinking I died too.
So, poor Sophia. I think it's funny because I was like, if this was a movie, Sophia would be the first to die. That does make sense. Totally.
It's kind of
It-
like the death of
Wait,
the most
wait,
innocent
normally-
character.
Yeah, the innocent character.
Normally,
Yeah.
wait.
It's going down.
Normally, isn't it the two that are getting it on that die first?
Well, sadly, I was not in this RP, so I couldn't die first. So, no, the whore can't die first in this one.
True.
We had Cage. We had Cage actually.
They had
Okay.
Cage and Chris.
Yep.
Remind me to
Chris.
remind me to
Actually,
keep
that
a
reminds
gun in
me-
the next
actually, that
RP.
reminds me. Okay, for you. One question about them. When there was Sophia's thing, for like Cage to like liberate, Sophia, the woman says something out. I will let you do that.
Mm-hmm.
What was that thing?
Wait,
that
what?
she will let him do?
Let him do. Wait. Say that again.
Like, okay, you remember Cage was strangling Sophia, right?
Cage was
Do you
stringless.
remember
Yes, that part. Yes.
Okay, when for him to like free her, the woman says something about if you let her free, I will let you do that. What was that thing? Or was that just an?
Do you really need to know?
Yes,
Really?
I'm curious.
It's for the plot.
You really?
Must you? Is this really integral to the plot for you, Taka?
I mean,
What?
that is important for me. You know that.
Anal, Taka. Anal.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What?
Okay,
Nothing.
So
nothing.
Don't question it, guys. Just never question it.
never question it. So
Okay.
next
I
what-
wasn't here. I
so
don't know what you're talking
It
about.
does not matter.
Okay.
It does not matter.
Basically, the woman had to make
It does not
to
matter.
make Cage had anal with him just to liberate Sophia.
I love
That
It
was
I-
does not matter.
Taka, I love how little this
Wait, what?
matters, and you're so stuck on it. So next, what happened was that so Sophia unfortunately dies. Everyone faints. Apparently, people faint.
we
or
have
like-
an
You made me
an
faint,
invitation of
sir.
someone. We have someone to
You made me
that was to
collapse.
speak.
So I'm just like, alrighty, I think I'm just
you.
gonna make her faint because I don't want to do anything right now.
Yes, I had it so that the drug was too much for her. And
Oh,
then I-
hello.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Oddish?
Oh,
Yeah.
Adish.
Hi.
Hi, Adish. We're just doing a podcast right now, so you don't mind muting yourself. But you're free to listen in.
Oh, okay.
All good. You're all
It's
good.
okay. We are just doing a podcast here with everyone in the role play.
Yeah, in the role play, we're doing the role
SMB,
play for the.
SMB, because I'm just a watcher here.
Yes. So,
You are the
Okay.
you are that
You know
single
more than
viewer.
us.
you really do.
You
are
know
that
more than
single
me.
viewer.
You're more than me, and I made it. So
Okay, look, I love the details. I will ask you everything, even about get killings. And Fire knows that because he took me over the numbers. I should
so
have known.
so everyone wakes up eventually, and they decide to lock her in. Her being chemo in the study room 2.
Yes.
And so what happened earlier, which was very important, was that the fight between Chemo and everyone eventually got into study room 2, where Chemo. So Elena pushed Chemo, and because Chemo was so strong at that point, she made a crack in the animal sanctuary glass, a very small crack. And this was the thing that set it all off.
I
I freaking hate
I
you,
didn't know there
Fire.
was a crack.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know there was a crack.
people. I think everyone like glossed over it, which is funny. And I'm like, all right, well, gloss over it if you
I
want
mean,
to.
I remember something
Yeah, I
about
didn't
the
even know it
clock.
existed in the first
I
place.
remember the clock, but I was thinking it was a clock in the like,
I
the
knew it
achievement.
That
existed.
was
Yeah,
dead,
I
so I had
same. I
nothing to
just
worry
thought it
about.
was on
Of
another
course.
part. I wasn't thinking it was in the sanctuary. I was thinking, oh, that is what the fucking clock is. Oh fuck.
So eventually, they lock her in
I
there.
wanted it.
They lock her in there, and God, Chemo has really the
Uh,
most harrowing time in this whole thing. So then she's locked in there,
Thanks a lot for that.
and because the doctor is asleep, um, a Chemo sees a gas emitted into the sanctuary, a timed
Oh,
gas emitted into
wait.
the sanctuary.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that too.
Sure.
Like, is that like do they always have that supply on? Like, they just put this thing on every
Yes.
time, or
Yes. So they have a supply ready to go that's on a timer, so that they can see so they can basically witness how each animal deals with the aggression. So that was actually going to be the second lesson, was to watch them now be aggressive. So they just watched them be, regular ass animals, and then they were going to watch them be aggressive. So that was the second. That was why it was on a timer.
oh,
Unfortunately, one of the wolves gets a little bit smart and realizes there's a crack in the glass, and also realizes that Chemo is chilling in there, and decides to do a little. They just want to come up for a hug, so
okay,
so
okay, actually, okay, wait. So if the
The
clock
hug.
wasn't there, would have the wolves never have came out?
I thought about it. It was I didn't actually make a decision on it, but I had two scenarios where like something got a little crazy, or like someone had to go into the sanctuary or something. I would have had some big event happen. I didn't quite decide what it was going to be, because I kind of needed to see what the vibe. Sometimes I have half written scenarios, and then I have to have them. Hello, who's
Hello,
hello?
shy,
Shy, you okay?
shy.
Shy.
Wake
Shy,
up.
Shy, wait, exit and come back.
Say come
Yeah.
back. I think you're not hearing. Okay, never mind. Can you hear us? Or
Yeah.
Shy.
okay, yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
So then the wolves start trying to bust it on through to get to Chemo, and Chemo freaks out because Chemo's afraid of wolves. Why is she here? But she's afraid of wolves. Poor
Why are you
Chemo.
here if you're afraid of that?
Dogs in general.
Poor Chemo. Poor Chemo.
Doesn't she still have the? Oh,
Excuse me, Sam. I think she had the second worst death now. I'm
You
really
kill the
upset
ship
with
char, you get the wolves.
Yep. So the wolves start banging into the glass. Chemo starts yelling, but because everyone's afraid of Chemo, no one listens. No one lets her out. So
Which is why I was going to murder somebody.
so
In my
chemo.
defense,
Yes. What? in
I
your
would have done something, but I was asleep.
Me too. Welcome to the club.
I like how
And you want to know what I would have done?
okay. It's
I
funny
would have
because
went up to the glass and I would have stared.
the two people that were working out with the doctor were the two people that were going to do something, and both of them were asleep.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And the doctor
both of
was
them were
sleeping
like
even
just
too.
goddamn sleeping throughout the whole thing, and it was just like, yeah, you missed all the action, dude. Well, you kind of had a clue about what Dr. Helsvik was up to, but then
Oh my
Yes.
man,
god,
you
so
missed
many
the
people on the
actual
audience.
results.
Oh wait,
Sure.
okay, wait, there we go.
Hi
Shadow
everyone
went
who's
out.
joining, who's listening and joining us. So next, what happened was eventually.
Shadow wants permissions to speak.
Oh yes, come on through. Wait, how do we let? Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
no.
wait, does he? Okay,
Invite to speak.
wait.
How about that?
Okay, wait. Okay, Shadow, do you want to in or out?
Let
I
him
don't
in.
understand.
There you are.
Internet
Okay,
is going
okay. I was
brr.
yay.
Going
Oh, hello,
brr.
Nat. Nat. Okay. Oh, no. Welcome, Chu. Welcome everybody
Hi,
to the
Nimby.
podcast.
Yay! So next, what happens was who actually lets her out?
It was
Elias.
Swift, I believe.
Oh, Swift. I don't remember who.
It's either
No, Swift. It was
Swift
Swift.
or
It was
the
Swift.
other one that
Wasn't it Lena?
the other one.
No, I don't think it
No, I
was
think it was
Elena.
No, it
Eric.
wasn't Elena. I think it
For
was
sure it's
It was
Kieran.
Eric.
Eric.
Kieran.
It was Eric.
Kieran
It
did it,
was.
right?
Yeah.
No, Kieran convinced
that
Eric
one!
to open
Yeah,
the
that
door. Eric
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah,
open the
Daily,
door, and
Dylan.
Kieran was like, "Yeah, if you want to do it, I'm not stopping you."
Yeah. So Kieran, here's my favorite part that you guys did. You guys opened the door and never closed it again, which is also my favorite. I love the little details that you all missed, but I was like, so eventually the wolf.
Fire.
Okay. Wait, to be fair,
I literally closed
would have
the door.
Yeah, Liz. I remember.
I will scroll
I remember.
up if I have
Your-
to. Let me go find it.
Already found.
Your actions are invalid.
yeah.
I mean,
Actually, I was
now they are.
thinking.
The thing,
yeah,
the thing is
door-
that it wouldn't have mattered because they would have busted the door
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. I was thinking the door
Yeah.
would have, if they broke through that glass with a
Because-
single crack.
Because I believe
Yeah,
so.
they would have.
So here's the question I have: how did you guys lock her in there? Because was it a situation where you had to break open the door again? Because I thought that's what happened. Is that what Kieran did? Or was it like how'd you guys lock her in there?
Lock
No,
them.
just
I think we just
unlock
brought
the
her
door.
inside and closed the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
because
all we
like
did.
we everyone like was thinking like the effects pass on, so that's what they closed like in the normal door, I think.
I see.
And
Oh,
even
We put
So just posted in chat. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, shutting the door and locking. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't matter anyway because the wolves were coming through. So
yeah,
So the wolves have. So Chemo has this really big Jurassic Park moment. Yes, by the way, that was inspired by. If you guys have seen Jurassic Park, where the
they like
the glass is breaking. Yeah.
Eric opened the
Oh.
door.
Oh, Eric opened the door. Okay. So
yeah, I was thinking it was
Eric
Eric.
opened the door.
so Eric opened the door.
It was right.
Oh.
The doctor wakes up. Everyone. Is this where everyone huddles into the men's dorm?
I was actually hoping everyone left the doctor away and they was it him, but that didn't happen sadly.
Yes.
I was hoping everyone was going to be like, oh, are we forgetting someone? We aren't. And the doctor is just there being fed on by the wolves. But yeah, I don't know who actually like went out for the doctor. Was it Elias?
Actually,
who was
Elena actually, surprisingly, basically was like, "We don't have time to explain. There are wolves coming through. We need to go." I think it was Elena.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, I think it was Elena actually. Yeah.
So yeah, everyone finally comes through, and it gets real crazy from here. So, how did everyone feel about this moment where they were literally? So the wolves basically come through the glass shatters in the sanctuary, and now the animals are released. How did we feel at this point?
Honestly, I was like quite terrified because like it was only a crack they could and they broke it. Imagine if the glass wasn't reinforced at all in the first place.
Kinda
Everyone
great.
would have been dead
Well,
before they even
That's
arrived.
cracking.
Yeah, it was just one crack actually, I think. Because it was
Are
in
you
the bottom
going
of
to-
like
Fire.
Yes.
Imagine this. You are containing a bunch of animals in an enclosure made of glass.
Yes.
What the fuck kind of glass do you use?
Reinforced
I mean,
glass, I
normally
think.
closures use strengthened glass, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or acrylic. Or acrylic.
To be fair, though,
Sunny.
Don't use window
the
glass.
thing is that's for normal zoos. This doctor was experimenting on the animals, so he should have expected like one crack would have been the downfall. It was literally destiny, final destination. Like one crack made everything go worse.
Final
Well,
Destination 3, the window broke and the man fell out the metro. Yeah.
I
yep.
fucking remember that.
But this time it's wolves. So now wolves fill the hallway.
I'm about to
Everyone,
kill fire in the next one.
everyone is
Wolf train.
trapped in the men's dorm. Everyone is freaking out. And
Except
Why'd you
Dr.
have to choose the
Helsvik, who was
men's dorm?
getting quite excited.
oh
Yeah, I
yes,
forgot.
we should
He was.
pull over for this moment. Yeah, Dr. Helsvik has a little bit of an affliction, let's say. Does anyone have any questions about this?
Let's
Uh,
move.
Um,
So I was like,
Didn't
let's
I
move
prefer
on.
not to ask because I know it's gonna be
Isn't this
so
like
wrong
when
and so weird. So
you witnessed the
fire,
dogs
keep
getting
your mind
eaten
away from my
I just love how
men.
Karen was
Yeah.
having like a life memory, like his life was flashing before his eyes, and then the doctor was just right next to him thinking, maybe today is the day I'm gonna be.
Gonna be what?
Yeah,
So
okay.
gonna be what?
Yeah.
Fire. If
Yes.
an
Yeah.
animal attacked the doctor, would have he been turned on so much that he would actually do something with the animal?
Probably not. I don't think he would have. But the doctor. I made a decision earlier. The doctor has a excitement with aggression. There's something a little bit of a weird turn on, and it's there's another video that Elena could have missed, but we won't get into that.
Oh no.
Anyway, so
Weird is an understatement.
No. You can't mention it and go away. Tell me about it, even if it has to be in DMs.
there was a secret self gratification video that you would have seen
Oh
from the
no.
doctor,
No.
and I'll leave it there on the table. So
Skip it.
so moving swiftly along, we go to we're trying to figure out how to get the hell out of here. So the options are to essentially go through. We have to get to the elevators, what the doctor said, and the other thing that the doctor said was that there's a way to call the front desk in the lab, which is interesting because
I was actually going to. Okay, yeah. Okay, talking about that too. Was there any fucking security in the whole building, or it was just them?
was there any security in the building?
Yeah, exactly. That's my question. Like they were like office of security, not like only cameras and stuff.
On
Or
the first floor, there would have been people on the first floor. Yes.
so basically they were on the 8th floor with no people, and there were only people in the first floor. Fuck. That.
So that media room has the pornos. The doctor's porno stash says so. Then what happened was so the two options were to get to the elevator or call the front desk through the lab.
Nothing gussy.
So what ended up happening was we needed someone to go through the vent who is the smallest. The smallest is already dead, so we had to go to the next smallest. Poor Sophia. R.I.P. Sophia. You deserve better. Sophia.
I found it funny. Like when the one opportunity that everyone could be small, everyone choose to be tall.
Yeah.
Without reason, actually.
I was
like,
so
why?
laughing at that. I was like, everyone chose to be really tall. and I was like, the NPCs are actually kind of the smallest people in the whole thing. So besides the doctor, of course, but so what ended up happening was
The
we
doctor is super tall. What are you talking about?
yeah, but
He was sexist.
I said besides the doctor, Chrysalis was
Oh, okay,
5'5",
okay, okay.
and I think Sophia was 5'4".
Doctor being 6'7".
I mean 6'7", yeah.
That's super tall compared to the other.
So tall.
Make
So
him 7 feet tall.
At this
so
point, they could have made the centipede
Who's
thing
tall?
come true.
oh god.
And they would have people.
I just like
Wait,
how you change your
who are we
nickname to
talking
the
about?
Overseer. Daka.
What? What do
Just
you
off
mean?
topic.
Yo, but
The Overseer.
Your nickname is now the Overseer.
You are the
Yeah,
Overseer.
yeah. I just choose the nickname because at this point I am the overseer of roleplay. I just put for the jokes.
So now we're going to get to some of the more sadder parts. We get to Kieran off the bat decides that this is
Oh,
his
Lord.
time to shine,
Oh lord.
and
Oh boy. Oh boy,
It's like
the
it's a
marketing.
death in
The
the limelight.
marketing. Oh my god, the
and
marketing.
you know what? I've been talking a lot, so how about you take it away? So if you tell us about the journey of Kieran,
Okay, so
we're gonna pause
So
you at some
I
point, and I
thought-
think you know what
so-
point we're gonna pause you at. But continue.
Yeah.
okay, so do you want me to start at like just how he escaped and stuff like that?
Yes. How did? Yeah. What was your train of thought once we got to the
Okay,
men's
so-
dorm?
Okay, so I looked when I was at the door when I was like the vents and you told me to go left or right. I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Wait.
look at this
Back
map.
up. Back
So-
it up. So what made you decide to go into the vent?
The vents. Okay, so I think it was more like, oh hey, I need a way out of here. I'll find it anyway. Originally, I was thinking, oh, would the windows be fine? I was gonna try and roll to maybe look for a window, but you suggested not the vines, the vents, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this could probably work. I could see if I could go through these vents.
So you go through the vents. A couple panels fall. Not a big deal. But then you get to a
Okay, so with
crossroads.
the map. Okay, so I'm gonna explain the thing with the crossroads. So I was looking at the maps and I thought the lab was to my right because I have some really poor hand coordination issues. So I confuse a lot with left and right.
Oh, now
So
I feel
I thought
bad.
the lab
I
was
can't
on
make
my
fun of you
right
about
side.
that. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Okay. I'm still like. I remember Fire, me, and Swift were
Hang
in the
on.
voice chat, and
Yep.
and we were scheming, both of us, to solve. Take the left, and she took the right. They took the right, and
So-
we like.
Hang on, I'll just draw it up.
Yes, please
This
post
was
it.
what I was thinking it was gonna
Oh.
happen.
So welcome, Soso.
Zozo's here. Oh my
Oh,
god,
am I
yes,
on? Am I on?
yes, Zozo.
Zoe!
Hello?
Oh my god.
We have
All right.
everyone.
Here we go.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yes.
This was what I thought was
Hello?
gonna happen.
Wait, no, seriously, guys, can you hear me? Or
Yes, we hear
you.
Don't worry, don't worry.
okay,
Can you?
good, thank you.
Okay.
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 Hi, I'm so sorry, guys. I just woke up.
No,
Okay,
you're totally
bye. I
fine.
stayed up till like 5.
You're totally fine. So, okay. So we're gonna pause. Wait, we're gonna pause the vent activities for a second because Zozo, I just want you to introduce your character in the Fox and how you came up with her because I loved her.
Oh boy. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
So I wrote, I don't know what's
All of
I
that. You did all of it.
portrayed
Yeah, sure. All of it.
Elena Chapman.
Yes.
Who I remember writing in the bio. She was she's sort of a
Not like-
flower child, but because it was the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm getting it mixed up with the dating game. So she's this flower child who believes in peace and love and all that stuff. But when she's stuck in a dangerous situation, she becomes a stone cold bitch.
Yeah. And stone cold she became. It was great. I love the way you played your character.
She just wanted out.
I was saying earlier, I was like, I love the character who just freaks out. I love the character who is just like, I can't be here anymore. That was amazing. So
Yeah, I think the reason behind that is because for me, I was like, I want a kid. If I were in this situation, or if I were to put a normal, peace-loving human being in this situation, how would they act realistically?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you did it.
Oh, thank you, Kimmo.
I loved Elena. Yes, I did too. So now we're at the point we've gotten through a lot of Elena's bits, but thankfully you're here just before the big Elena bit. And
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
did you talk
have a
about the
lot to
changes?
say about that.
say again.
Did you talk about the changes? Because I'm curious how she impacted the story.
Yes. So one of the things was, actually, I do want to talk to you about the reels. So
The reels. That's what I was curious about.
So you picked two of the most innocent reels that you could have picked, which is interesting.
Oh no!
But one of them was helpful because we found out the bull video was actually really integral to the final bit of the story. But you could have picked. There was also a fox video that would have been there. And there would have been a video of essentially videotaping the Cage and Chrysalis engaging in the activity. Yes.
I'm surprised that the year 1969 is the most innocent.
Yep.
I think you all know why I chose that.
Yes, very clearly.
I don't.
Well, I see.
Yeah.
Fire, you can explain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we all get it. And then there was another video of the doctor gratifying himself. 69
What?
is. We'll talk about it later about what 69 means. Yes, that was interesting.
What did the doctor do? You cut out for me.
Oh, he's gratifying himself.
Yes. Anyway.
What's gratifying?
The doctor's masturbating on camera. Doctor's masturbating to something inappropriate on camera.
Oh my god.
So, as I said earlier, this is probably the most sexual of the Cryptidverse RPs that there have been.
What is happening for honestly, I was thinking this will go for the dating game because you even referred to the people as honks, and I was like, suspicious, but everything sexual happened here.
We'll see. Yeah. So one of the tragic moments that we're gonna swing back to now is when Kieran.
Okay.
Yes. What happened?
Oh, poor noob. Poor freaking noob.
What I did. So I'm just going to read it here. The doctor was masturbating Kieran. Anyway, so Kieran had the choice to go through the vents. Had a pretty not too hard time, but chose to go either left to the lab or right to the elevator. And now that I see the way that you drew the map, it makes sense why you chose what you chose.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I think you mentioned about being in the bathroom at some points, and I was like, okay, what is left to me is the elevator. That's not really where I want to go because I think it's broken. So I'm gonna go right because I think that's near the lab. But looking back at it, I probably think it was best to go to the elevator at the first place because one, we wouldn't have gotten that big story thing, and two, I had a bigger of a chance to get eaten by wolves than I probably did when I.
So the funny thing is that it's actually really good that Kieran went to the left because I mean, whether depending on how you feel about this story beat, you might have never found out about the crossbreeding thing. So what happens is Kieran goes to the right, and then what happens? So
the guy that roped his ass over at the lab a couple days ago finds him at the shaft. They both have this "what the fuck are you doing here" moment for a moment, and then they're like, oh, and then Cage is like, oh hey, do you want to come into the elevator? I think my wife or my missus or whatever is delivering a baby. And Kira was just like, oh shit, and he's like, okay, well, and then he notices that she's not visibly pregnant, and he's like, oh, she's not pregnant. We think it's something else. And he's like, oh shit.
Yep. You want to keep going?
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna go into some real little shit. So Kieran did this whole thing because he wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to like follow after the steps of his older brother, who was also wanted to be a doctor and became one. He wanted to follow after that because he wanted to take the lives of people before himself, and how he wanted to like he just basically just spent his life wanted to devote his life to taking care of the lives of others. So he figured, oh, maybe this will finally be the time I can show my true doctor skills or things. And then he delivers the hybrid bull human thingy. He just looks at it like, the fuck is this?
Yeah. So
And then
yeah. Well, let's pause there.
Yeah.
Let's pause there. What happens to spell it out is that essentially, what's her name? Chrysalis miscarries or has sort of a early term birth of the bull human mixture.
Miscarriage.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
I don't think this is safe for kids. I
No.
want to check which one is the podcast.
Nothing is safe for kids. Nothing in New Hell City is safe for kids anymore.
We're talking about fire at this point.
Yes.
It's just like it's going to happen. I mean,
Yes.
if I thought like,
I mean, still.
So
imagine someone like 14 or something enters the server and it tries to see what happens here, and the first thing they hear is,
I'm fully going to jail over this server. This whole server is going to send me to jail, and it's okay.
You've corrupted the minds of
I
a
won't
lot
be your
of
one
people,
call when
buddy.
you go to prison, Fire. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I've been to prison a couple times. It's not a big deal.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I had fun the first time. Second time was less fun. Anyway, so
Okay, so
Let me
Yeah.
guess,
Yes,
you
you
found
dropped the
someone.
so as Cage is stomping and killing the fetus of the miscarried baby, Kieran just looks at the shaft and it's just like, I did it, because his older brother. I delivered a baby. I'm now worth something. I became the doctor you wanted me to be.
Nina, Fire, can I ask you something?
sure,
Fire.
if you must.
I have to because like, why did the Chrysalis react like that?
Why did what?
Why did Chrysalis
Mhm.
like
Act-
why
Well,
did she like
it's interesting. I actually got that little scene from Rosemary's Baby. If anyone's seen Rosemary's Baby, where she's
I kind of know
I've
the
never
plot.
heard of that.
so it's a movie about a woman who's basically having the devil's child, and she's really horrified by when she actually has the child and it looks kind of like the devil, but then she gets very, very attached to it because it's sort of like this. What happens also when you have a baby is sort of like your endorphins. Your endorphins want to take care of the child. You like instantly fall in love with the child. So I sort of created a more bastardized version of that, where it's sort of like she felt very attached to this thing that she created, and it made for this very sort of sick, twisted,
And Kieran's just sitting there, just in utter disbelief, not having any idea what the hell was going on, as Chrysalis was like cradling the fetus, and Cage was just in the back, downing some, like, taking some shots of the drug.
Yep. Kieran was literally like, "This has been cute. I've had fun. Y'all can deal with this."
No. You know what he
I
is?
was
You know
reading
that?
that
You know,
sort of
okay,
like
you know that meme where it's like, I am very uncomfortable with the energy we have created in the studio today.
Yes.
That was Kieran.
What are you gonna say, Zozo? Zozo?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
My thing like keeps cutting out and stuff. Oh yeah, I remember because this was around the time Elena died. Reading that and being like, what in the ever living fuck did Fire?
Oh boy.
How the
I have
What?
so many things to say about Elena's death.
There's so many
Oh,
things that
God.
happen.
Yep.
So
Oh,
then,
how did Elena die?
well, we'll get there. We're gonna get there. So we're gonna start with so that we're gonna go a little bit out of sequence because two things happened at once. But so
Yeah, you're right.
the doctor at the same time that this is happening in the elevator explains, pretty much spills the beans on what stage of the experiment that they are at, and it is a lot more advanced than the students realized. It has gone from animal
Oof.
aggression to a lot of other things that we've noticed, and then Kieran is ready to make his great escape. Take it away, Soph.
Oh, the Great Escape for Kieran.
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay, so Kieran watches Cage like slowly just turn more aggressive and stuff like that. He thinks, oh shit, maybe I need to get out of here before he tries to kill me. So he quickly escapes as the wolves get into the elevator, and they eat Chrysalis, and he just looks back as he successfully manages to climb up the shaft, thinking, could I have saved her? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. So he
And then
starts climbing
Kieran
up the
later
elevator.
dazed, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah. Oh, I should explain that. So Cage basically, Cage is determined to kill the doctor at this point because of all the abuse that he's put them
Okay.
through and all of this stuff. So he takes the.
I was thinking of asking Cage. I was thinking of having Kieran ask Cage if he could have a dose of some of the drug because he too wanted to. I was thinking about going that route, but I was like, nah, not gonna risk. I felt like it was more out of character for him.
Yeah. So.
Well, in a bit away out of character.
So Cage takes an unusual amount, probably an unhealthy amount of 613. Opens the elevator doors. The wolves come in and devour the rabid wolves come in and devour Chrysalis, and
then they all start.
Then they have a very Dragon Ball Z fight at the head of the elevator. Meanwhile, Kieran.
Hey, I don't want to go to this part.
I know, so
Sorry
sad.
then. So
Oh god. I'm wondering
I'm just gonna say
why
this.
did you
If
think
it wasn't for fire, looking up that wolves can fucking jump, my character probably would have escaped to the 13th floor. I'm just saying.
Okay, to be
Yeah.
fair, you were trying to tame the wolf. That was
I'm going to explain that. So, you know how a lot of people, when they're in like situations, like near-death situations, they start thinking of like really, 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 really fucking dumb ideas to try and get out of it. I think he was trying to go that route because he was at that point just any means desperate because he knew he was going to die, but he thought maybe, just maybe, he could make it out of here.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I have heard of that. I mean, it certainly files under dumb ideas. I will give you that.
Okay,
So
I want to ask you a question, Pa.
Yeah, well,
Was there anything in the 11th and the 12th floors?
Yes, there was.
Okay, could you tell me what was in the 11th and the 12th floor since roleplay's over? We never got to explore the 11th and 12th floors.
Should I? Well, you would have been. I mean, but the 12th floor would have given you access to the roof. The roof. There wasn't anything. There would have been weapons on the. There would have been things you could have used more on the higher floors, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it! I could have just shot it dead. Could have just shot the wolf dead.
So what happened was that the hatch was open. So I should explain this. So where Kieran was with Chrysalis and Cage, there was the hatch open. So Chrysalis and Cage had been. So I don't think anyone caught this. That Chrysalis and Cage had actually been living in the elevator and climbing out.
Yeah, you said that.
And going to so climbing out and going to the 9th floor and hanging out. Going back in the elevator, all that stuff. So the hatch was open and therefore the wolves were able to jump. I looked it up. Wolves are able to jump 12 feet. The highest recorded is 12 feet. So the distance between, I know it's ridiculous. So the distance between the top of the elevator and the 9th floor was 15 feet. So one of the wolves, I think, rolled like rolled a 30.
4 wolves that got up there?
There's 3 wolves that got up there. And one of them had the good sense.
There's a bug in my room.
Oh, gross! Kill it or don't. I don't know. Whatever you believe. So So the wolf jumped on another wolf to launch themselves into the upper floor and search for Kieran. And then there's a standoff, a very scary standoff. And then what does Kieran do?
He very stupidly tried to tame the wolf. Didn't work. Gets knocked down onto the floor. Kieran finds a letter opener thing. He thinks, okay, this is my last straw. I wasn't going to risk going up the stairs because I knew it wasn't going to work at all. So, because there was like another 2 floors, and I was like, okay, I think the best thing to do in this situation is just to try to get it to
Did
fight it
Kieran
off.
really just do a delta?
You think this is the Delta move?
He tried
Never heard
to.
of.
He
No.
tried so desperately to grab the letter opener, but before he could do that, the wolf just decided, yeah, I don't want to deal with this guy anymore. Just mutilates him.
Yeah, because at first ripped his arm off, pretty much ripped the top part of his arm off.
If Kieran lives that, he could have had an awesome fucking prosthetic arm.
Yeah, could have.
He could have had an awesome prosthetic.
Damn.
But the wolf bit into his neck and killed our dear Kieran, which that was very sad.
Rest in peace.
Very, very sad. Rest in peace.
Okay,
Rest in peace.
Like, I think they
in
would
peace.
affect the match if it wasn't before the other death that comes next. And oh my god, I have so much things to say.
So
honestly, I was kind of
Go ahead. You were honestly
I was
what?
kind of expecting him to die. Like, I didn't have much to write for him if he did live, because I was pretty much expecting him just to die at some point at least.
At this point, you all expect your characters to die.
Yeah.
It's Roland's
I really
fault.
want him.
It's Roland's
Especially-
fault.
It's Roland's fault. Fuck Roland. All my homies hate
Especially
Roland.
I mean, like, I've already
I wrote a
accepted
lot
that
of-
Roland's a wild card.
So I wrote a lot of like characters and stuff like that for Kieran's lore and stuff like that, because I felt like that was something that was lacking with the Fergusons, because all my character had was like a father that was like disappeared for so many years, while Kieran had like 5 siblings, a best friend, his classmates back at home, and like all that sort of stuff. And I was trying to like build a little story around all this while everything was going on. Like how everyone else had like their families and stuff like that. I just wanted to build something like more like homely like with him.
You did a great job. I loved it. I love Kieran.
Thank
Kieran
you.
was best character.
Thank you.
Kieran
So-
best
Really did love
character.
it.
Vote for Kieran,
No.
or maybe don't. I don't know. Vote for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I am.
Vote
I'm
for
doing that
Now,
right
I
now.
don't mean to sort of change the conversation, but this just sort of popped up in my head, and I don't know if you guys went over this already. But the letter that Elena got.
Yes, we did go over
Yeah,
that.
Was
we
that
went
ever-
about that.
Oh.
And
Do
the
you have
funny
it?
thing is
But
that
feel free to ask questions if you have any.
What was the whole point of the letter? Because who wrote it and why?
So the doctor wrote it in order to activate the aggressive agent in chemo. So basically, the doctor's plan was to create dissension in the group. He was trying to create dissension in the group. The problem was you guys were all being very buddy and sweet. However,
And Kieran was like the guy in the group that was like trying to keep everyone together.
Yeah.
And then when he died, everyone was just like, yeah, we're not going to be together anymore.
And he noticed
And then
that
Elias was
Yeah.
in cahoots with the doctor because he slid the note under the door.
yes, Elias was in cahoots. Also, Alex was in cahoots. Alex and Elias did not know that they were each in cahoots. It was like a triad. They were both in cahoots with the doctor, but did not know that the doctor was in cahoots with either one of them.
Well, thankfully, Elena found the letter.
Yes, which is
Ripped
funny.
it up. Did you
Yeah.
guys go over the context? Because I could read it.
We did go
What
over
letter?
the context, the letter, the fake letter that Elena quote unquote wrote to Chemo, calling her all kinds of bitches and cunts and all that stuff, and then saying that she's going to kill her and her family and stuff like that.
yeah, I do wonder what Elena
Wait.
thought about the letter. Like, I do wonder.
Yeah, what did you
she was
think? Yeah,
Jokes on,
what did you think?
jokes on the
It's like,
doctor. Emo
'cause
had already
here's the
told
thing.
Elena that her family had already died. Jokes on them.
Here's the thing. I thought I got a DM and I was like, what the hell? And I was reading it and I was like, so confused. So I was like, you know what? As mysterious as it sounds, like, she's aware she didn't write the letter, so she'll just rip it up. Because what's the whole point anyway?
So true, and it was never brought up again, which is so interesting. There's a lot of
Yeah, it's like
moments.
a big lipped alligator
Wait.
moment.
I know.
The only thing I picked up from this is she didn't write that letter, and I thought she did write that letter
She did not write
this
that
whole
letter.
time.
She did not write that letter at all. Which is
Also,
interesting.
something I also wanted to point out with Kieran in his like character description, he tends to act before he thinks. I think that could have also been a reason why he wanted to tame the wolves because he didn't really think before he acted like in that situation.
Yeah, clearly.
Because he has a tendency to be more impulsive and act before he thinks.
R.I.P. Kieran. We love you. We love you forever. So now the next two
Rest in
things.
He's like Ion. He still plays Ion in the Wildfire Rushes.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh, yes, good. Yes.
technically, he still lives on.
He still lives on.
So the next two
Yes.
things that happen are that Chemo brings it upon herself to do some things.
Yes.
You want to walk us through that, Liz?
Yes. So basically, when Kieran left, Chemo was freaking out a little bit because she was just like, "Oh no, I should have been the one to go. What if he dies? What if he doesn't die? What if they don't get saved in time?" She just wanted to be a sacrifice because of what she did to Sophia. So she went unnoticed and climbed through the vents.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to make her way to the hallway. She did. She had some troubles getting there, and she wanted to distract the wolves from the lab and/or elevator. So she threw her notebook, and there were some things that if somebody found the notebook, they could have read it, and it would have had some really some stuff in there.
Can you reveal?
Yeah. You know, maybe at the end of this.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
so what happened next?
What she did was she threw her notebook, and it was successful. Wolves were getting confused and started going after the notebook. Then her panel fell.
Mm.
She had to back up to the beginning. All she wanted to do. I really just wanted to write her jump down there, but Rollum made me roll a 1 when she fell.
She fell out of the vent.
Fell.
Yep.
The one. She rolled a 1 to get to the lab safely and drink the tea, the rest of the tea. But I rolled a 1. Therefore, the wolves attacked Chemo, ripping her limb from limb.
Poor Chemo.
While she screamed in agony and died.
Chemo. To me, Chemo had a really rough time. To me, Chemo had the worst time. This whole.
The biggest
Yeah.
newbie in this entire thread.
She literally was used and abused
Disagree.
and then killed.
And Elena.
First, she was drugged. Second,
hated
she was
her.
chased by wolves. Third, she got killed by wolves.
Yeah,
And ripped apart, limb from limb.
it was not
I
good.
don't think that.
It was
And
not
throughout
good.
the whole thing, Elena hated her as well
Yeah.
because
My
she
character
almost
getting really
burned
bad
her.
story.
Yeah, it was very
So-
sad.
I forgot what you used. Fire used a term, and I forgot what it was, but it's when the person knows what's going on, but the character
Oh,
doesn't.
meta.
So,
game.
like,
Dramatic
Yeah.
irony.
Meta.
because
Yeah.
with that, I kept thinking, okay, Elena so far has only had really, really bad interactions with Chemo. And, she also witnessed Chemo, killing Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, obviously, she's not going to trust her. She's going to be there like, you guys, don't let her out. Don't let her out. What are you doing?
Mm.
Which I thought was smart on my part, but
No, it's very
that's
smart.
fair,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's the way you play it. That is the way you play
The how
it.
you play it, really, yeah. Like the only thing, like the way if we're talking about meta, like let's just get this out of the way, like quickly, because I've seen the lobby. There's not a whole lot of meta here. Mostly because
Nothing
there's
yet.
2 points here. Either the character doesn't want to die because the owner doesn't want to do it,
I
or
need
the
to
character is going
quote
to die
that.
because the owner wants it to die. So it's like there's no meta because everyone know what they want, and there's like unless you count the Ferguson's ending, I don't think there has been a lot of
There
meta.
really
So
hasn't.
that's
So
yeah. The
dispelling that
only
myth.
yeah, like the only fault Ferguson's has it was the large cast that I'm not going to blame you for.
We
It was
will
too much for yeah.
tune in for the Ferguson's podcast.
Yeah,
So
sorry about that. I just want out. Yeah, sorry. I just
you're
really
good.
didn't want. I wanted to clarify that.
So after
I'm.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say my comment that I've always said. I'm still really surprised that for my first RP, I've made it that far.
You did
Or Elena was
amazing.
able to make it that far. Oh
You
my
did amazing.
gosh.
You did so amazing.
I
I'm so
thought,
proud of you.
yeah, because I always sort of knew the doctor thought she was sort of dumb, I guess. Because there was the part in the real room, the media room. But before that, when I was coming up with the whole butterfly thing, I was like, I didn't know we had to actually like write something. So I'm like, oh, no. So, and I forgot what the doctor said, but he was like, yeah, okay. Interesting.
So speaking of
Anyway.
which, oh, go ahead. Did you have more?
Oh no, that was it. I think the doctor thought she was dumb.
Speaking of which, about who thinks who is dumb, the doctor asked, the only other letter that the doctor passed back and forth between Nick and between Elias and Alexander, was asking them specifically to list their classmates based on weakest to strongest.
Oh no.
Oh,
And both of them
Let me remember who I
responded.
picked.
And they're going to read their responses for you right now.
Yes, please.
Let
you
me
gotta
see
do
what my
this.
response was. I'm
It should
I'm
be in
happy
both
to
your
read mine.
it should be in both your DMs.
I can see. I have the list here.
Who would like to go
Okay.
first?
I wrote from the weakest to strongest: Sophia, Elena, Chemo, Eric, Kieran, and Elias.
And yours?
Sophia, Kieran from weakest to strongest. Sophia, Kieran, Alina, Chemo, Eric, and Alexander.
so you both voting for each other at this point.
Oh wow.
Basically.
We had the same tier list almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, it was fair. Like Elias broke down because of the sedative actually, because the sedative let him dream on and have the other thing. So in the end, Alexander was the strongest actually because he had no connection to anyone. Like the strongest point, like a human is strong because of not having connections. So Elias felt that because of the brother thing.
Yep.
So Alexander is the only strongest in the thing.
In the doctor's eyes, because he was like no no strings attached.
Yeah, no strings attached. And Shai's character didn't talk to anyone else but the doctor.
Which is an interesting thing given what happens later, but we'll the doctor doesn't quite believe in his own hype, but go ahead.
I'm happy I shifted my character back into what he originally was, because it kind of helps you win.
Yeah.
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 Like, that was like your original. That was what you originally wrote down in your character profile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
And that's
that's
a lesson, people.
Catch on.
If you care for others, you're gonna die. If you're a lone wolf and a bastard like Alexander, you will live.
I just want to say that it was really convenient. Oh, and right as the person I was going to talk about leaves to the audience.
I know.
It was super convenient that Chemo smashed the coffee pot.
Oh, interesting.
Because it was part of my character.
Chemo did what?
Smash the coffee pot.
Smashed the coffee pot.
Okay, you know what? I'm fully happy Chemo died now. If you smash the coffee pot, I hate you forever.
So,
yeah,
because he loves the coffee. So the next big moment
Chemo was the ultimate spanner in the works for Alliance.
I love my coffee. Thank you very much.
So the next thing that happens is the doctor says that they have to get to the lab. They did witness Chemo dying. Very sad, 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 sad. But they needed to get to the lab to figure out how to call the front desk. So what happened next, Swift? Hopefully we can stall enough
Nah.
for.
I am waiting the moment you mention it. I'm going to so much say. Oh god.
Mention what?
Oh wait, we're getting there. Here
In
we go.
any case, I'm
Wait,
just gonna
mention
say
what?
it straight. So Eric like basically decides to just go out, decides to do it himself, and then Elena's like, oh, I don't want to be left alone here, and then Eric is like, okay, you can come along, and then she's like, oh, yeah, right, about that, I might have a hard time like catching up with you because bitten leg and all, and then Eric is like,
yes, I don't know if we said that clearly that in Chemo's rage back at before
we did mention it.
Okay.
I think I was the one to mention it. That well, they were finding one of them
bit the shit out of her leg. Yeah. So she's fully limping.
Wala kasi hindi ko ginawa. Wala akong ginawa. Anyway, what?
So what happened next?
So
I don't know.
like Eric and Elena like went out, and then some rolls happened. Elena fell, and Eric tries to help her up. Like he was in the process of helping her up when suddenly, boom, Wolf comes in.
The fucking wolf.
Bashes her head in,
That
and then
fucking wolf. Oh my shit, so much I hate that fucking wolf.
So this was probably the most controversial moment of the Fox. Possibly one of the most controversial moments
Controversy.
Because
the entire.
it's one of the most controversial moments besides your new introduction of private conversation.
You
Private conversation is
every
justified.
wolf was in the elevator. You did so. And then you pull out that wolf in the lab room.
I told
where
a
Elena
fib.
was being held.
I told a fib. And a fib, for those who are not clear, is a little, itty bitty, teeny weeny lie. I told a little lie.
Yeah.
Like a baby
Yeah,
lie.
you are
tiny
A
lie.
lie that
you're
can.
guaranteed to you have a lesser chance of gaining other people's trust in the RPs after that. So.
I know. I love it. It's great. It's going to be great.
The problem is that there's one thing about that lie. Is that kills another character. I mean that was Lauren's fault, yeah. But there's one thing about having the ability to kill a character and just to court them. She was killed.
I just love that once we get to later on in the Cryptidverse RPs, you guys are just going to trust nothing. Just absolutely nothing.
And I hate you so much.
I still trust everything.
Good.
I'm naive.
Good. This is the way it should be.
Yeah, you're going to die at some point. You collect it. Unless you are going to
like,
listen with Alexander every time.
I just look at Rollem as a wild card now. It's just a wild card. That's pretty much.
Like the good thing about this is really that if you're going to let this happen, is that either the people are going to just play characters that are lone wolves, or just put characters as death fodder. Like that's the only problem I see with this. Like Lucas Swift, she put a death fodder in this one because of Whole Realm Max.
Wait.
She nearly made it to the end though.
If I look at my list of characters, this
okay, to be fair,
maybe
Swift
one or two
others.
One or two.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And to think I'm making more. Anyhow,
oh my
list
god,
of characters.
you have so many
I think.
ideas?
Never mind.
I mean, like Eric was just Cryptidverse exclusive. The rest of the characters that I made were already originally in my note.
Okay, so wait, let's get to the next part because we got to speed through some of these deaths now. Oh no, did Shy?
Yeah.
Someone tell Shy to rejoin. Someone tell Shy to rejoin.
Hello.
Hi.
But Shy is here.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking
Shy's
about?
still here.
Okay. Anyway, so so the sad death of Elena. She had the very last roll, and
Oh.
she had the very last roll.
Is anyone there?
Yes.
Yeah, you're here.
Hello. Hi.
Okay, no, I think
Okay.
guys. I think you have to rejoin. I think everyone got cut off.
Yep.
Yeah, I just rejoined.
Oh,
Yeah, Shy, you have to. Okay, wait.
yeah, just tell Shy.
I'm here. Hi.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
You
We
have
can
to.
hear
You have
you.
to tell us. We thought you can hear us.
So, okay.
I wasn't able to for the past 30 seconds.
Oh wow.
Okay, you got.
So now that everyone can hear each other, so yes, I don't know if Zozo's back from her break, but
I'm here.
this is
Yeah,
oh
I'm
yes,
sorry.
yes. So
I
tell
had
us,
to go
Here.
get the mail, and
tell
my
us,
dogs are going crazy.
tell us
Another
about the
mess.
death. Tell us about the death. How did it make you feel?
I'm content with how everything went because I'm honestly surprised with how far I made it or how far she made it, and it's just there were so many times I thought she was gonna die, like the part with Kimmo slashing the throat and all that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, plus again, it's my first big time RP. I did a little bit of stuff in the Globe theater, but besides that, and I didn't really do a lot, but yeah. As for the death, it's like, okay, gotta think of something, because people usually, write
Yes,
write a final message.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think I liked how it went with the whole butterfly flying away,
It
who's
was
finally
very,
free.
it was very in line with her character, her flower child character. It's very
Yeah, because that
sweet.
was sort of part
Yep.
of the reason. That's why I really wanted to say why I chose a butterfly. Because it's like, oh, if she dies, maybe I could say something like, oh, her soul is flying
Like
away like a
nothing else.
butterfly. So in the story, the doctor didn't really ask because she
Zoe.
Zoe.
knows.
Oh, there we go.
So that's why in the lobby I was like, okay, I have.
Oh no.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
I think
Ooh,
she's
Yeah,
I
having
we
the
write
same
something.
issues Swift you are having.
Uh-oh.
I like.
Uh-oh.
So yeah,
The input sensitivity.
her soul
input
became a
sensitivity.
butterfly. She was as free as a butterfly when she passed
Oh.
away.
We
Based off a true story my grandmother told me.
we love Elena. She will forever be in our
Mm-hmm.
hearts and in the wolf stomachs.
Yes, rest
So
in peace.
Actually, hunt that fox down until he's dead
I don't know what happened
because
with
that
Elena.
fucking
Question
wolf
fire.
was.
Why'd you choose a wolf instead of fox?
Yeah.
because
They're small and not
foxes are,
intimidating.
yeah, foxes are small, they're not intimidating. They also, even if they're rabid, they're going to have a much harder time to kill a human. So,
Then
Yeah,
why didn't
wolves
you
were
name it the
better.
wolf?
well, no, I named it the fox because
Because it's about a fox.
I named it the fox because of what is
Of
about
course
to
it's
happen
about
with Eric. Continue, Eric. Now that Eric is now in the lab, we went to quiet time at this point, so Eric got to the lab without Elena, unfortunately. Got to quiet time, and then when we came back to action time, what did Eric do?
So yeah. So Eric was just basically doing whatever he can to just find some kind of clue to get out. Like there was nothing except for some paperwork, some vials, and all other crap. And then he reached out for what he thought was the sanctuary door, and then it turns out it's a passcode locked door. And then this is where I basically did trial and error. This is where I basically did trial and error. I was in the same boat as Eric in this one. So he was just trying every possible number because honestly, this is what I would do if I'm confronted with a passcode number. Just do
Just
trial and error.
input.
Yeah.
1001 1002. Yeah.
He had a hunch and then he thought it was a year. So 19. I forgot what was the first year that I decided to.
So the year that everything started was 1940. So that was the first passcode.
But then before all of that, I just want to detail just how much work he had to do just to reach that point. Before that, he just on a hunch he just guessed the number. He guessed the year, and then 1 and 9 were correct. So he was like, okay, then I have to find the remaining last two numbers. So he went on 1950 something, 1965, 1976, 1999, and then he's like, oh boy, this is tiring me out. I just need to like go and read some. Maybe I could just try and find something in the documents. Take a brief break. Then he reads some documents, and then they detail something very specific, which like one of the key years there was 1966 while he was looking, and then he took that as an opportunity to try again. Nothing. Well, I'm discussing Cassie. Anyway, so yeah, he went back to the code room. I mean the keypad, like did 1966, did not work, and then he just went through all the possible random numbers. Like 1940 was included as one of them in that list, and then clicked open.
So one of the papers that Eric stumbles across were EKG monitors, which are like heart rate monitors, and the subjects were Adam and Eve, and then subject X. Any idea who those three folks were?
Adam and Eve are Cajun Chrysalis.
Very
obviously.
good, obviously.
I would say X is the bull.
X.
X
is it the doctor's father?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah.
Because they were going, so the heart rate monitors were going very low, very high. He flatlined several times and came back. So it was his heart trying to regulate. Obviously, this can't happen in real life. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
but
this can't happen in real life. That's probably like the only reassurance we get from this entire thread.
But
so it's like,
I guess you could call him Foxenstein.
He is Foxenstein. Fox and Bullenstein. Fox Bullenstein. Yep. So what does he goes to the long hallway. So he realizes that there's a second door. He guesses 1966. And what does he find there? Oh, wait! Before we get there, does the doctor join you all at this point? Yes, that's right.
Yeah, at that point, I'm just gonna like take it from here.
Go ahead.
Take it from here.
You take it.
All right. So basically, doctor leads him, and then Eric sees Eric sees him input the code 1966. He gets in, and then gets shocked by what he sees, and then Dr. Helsvik, like a true mastermind villain that he is, like puts him inside, kind of places him in like a gladiator-esque kind of situation with Eric inside, and then just leaves him there. Yeah, and then Eric just tries his best to like dodge everything at this point. Not really dodge, but more like keep himself quiet and nimble because this creature, he doesn't know what it's gonna do to him. So yeah, and then he sees that the creature who of course I kind of figured out as Dr. Gunther Helsvik the moment I saw that text that said the torso of an elderly man. I was just like,
Johann.
Yeah, that's definite.
Johann's the dad. Gunther's the one you've been dealing with.
Oh, Gunther's the grandfather, so Johann's the dad. Oh, I confused the two. Yeah. So yeah, it's the dad. It's the freaking dad. I just said, oh yeah, that's.
He has the head. He has the head of a fox and the
legs of a bull, torso of an elderly man.
There we go.
And then Eric, like, manages for some freaking reason. Rolem was like, I didn't completely trust Rolem. I did not trust Rolem throughout this entire thread. So yeah, I was just writing based on what I would think Eric would do based on his character. So he manages to sneak to the panel. And then the creature was kind of being clumsy during those times. And then, of course, before he like did something with the panel, like there was this confrontation with the bear, like the bear back in the floor 8 hallway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And at that time he carried himself a glass shard just in case he had to like hurt the bear back in that hallway. So in hindsight, I was just like, oh yeah, Eric does have that glass shard. He most likely kept it in his person. And then he pulls it out and then just indiscriminately cuts all the wires in the panel. All the lights go out except the ones in the lab. And then the creature kind of like detects him, and then struggle begins.
Yeah, I remember Swift, Nick, me, and Nastian were in the voice chat when we were playing poker, what that was happening, and I remember we were discussing the creature, And one of us realized it was a fox hit, and the lights turned off, and I don't know if it was Nathaniel or Nick that realized, oh wait, Fox seen the dark murder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Nate. It was Nate who pointed it out. It was Nate who pointed out the night vision part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
exactly.
messed up situation for
Yeah, I looked it
Eric.
up. I was like, "Ooh, great!" I didn't even really align that together, but I was like, "Oh yeah, Fox can see in the dark. Perfect,
Yep,
perfect."
and then not long after that, well, struggle ensues and all that stuff, and then Fox bites into Eric's neck, kind of similar to a certain someone's death as well.
I just realized, oh my god,
Mhm,
you son of a bitch.
mhm,
I
mhm,
can't
mhm.
believe I didn't. Why? Why do you call me this way, Fire?
What?
I mean, like, to be honest, it kind of fulfilled the. I was like, my whole reaction in.
You were literally, we were
Didn't
playing
care.
poker. We were playing poker, and everything you said was just, it is gonna die, it is going to die. Every
And
single match of poker, and it was distracting.
and we were all
Yeah,
going,
What's
no, no,
going
no, no, no,
on?
no.
they were
S-
all going, no, please, like, please, he has to survive and all that stuff. But I was like,
Yeah, me
well,
and Nationalist, we were like, please survive. Even when
I
Nathaniel
was
pointed out the
asleep.
fuck,
You
of
were
course,
asleep.
you were
you were
It
asleep.
was
asleep.
1
Yeah.
a.m.
like
for me.
apart from like key scenes, I think like it feel like Alexander just sleep through the whole thing. You were like, ah, Abiel is in the elevator. That isn't of my importance.
Shai's about to wake up now because after Eric's very sad and timely death. By the way, Eric could have killed the creature. Just saying, there was a situation, there's a scenario in which that could have happened. But anyway,
yeah, but then he was like trying to get him off first so that he can actually land a hit.
yeah,
Because honestly,
poor.
and
Yep.
yeah, like
So
my
yeah,
whole
okay.
reaction throughout his death, I was just like, I told you he'd fulfill the destiny. Like it kind of fits honestly with his position as like doomed moral protagonist or doomed moral character. I searched on TV tropes for that one. It was so yeah, it was he had a fun run.
R.I.P.
Maybe
Eric.
Well,
he has a good
we
he has a good
can't really
afterlife with Sophia.
blame Roland. You got
Yeah,
bad rolls over and over and over. 1, 4, 10. Oh my god. It was
So
but
And
yeah,
I
like
yeah,
and then
didn't
like
she get 3 or
hang on a minute.
something?
So yeah, he's probably having a good time in the afterlife, and he died
What
before his
about his
uncle did.
uncle? His uncle is going to live forever long, wondering what the heck happened to him.
Well, I mean, like his uncle most likely figured out the news. He most likely got the source of the. He most likely got like the information that his nephew outlived him, and then he's just like, oh, he's just like super devastated, and then, well, he pretty much
Oh wait,
died
And
of
the worst
despair.
part is the uncle had cancer, and the uncle might have had hope that he would
yeah,
get the
this
cure.
makes me remember though that the news thing that about that I mentioned before that every like last line of the roleplay always like tells us about the obituary thing. I remember that now. Fuck.
I
I
need
so
to go soon.
oh yes, so we have to get to the end. So
okay. Go.
so the doctor and Alex the doctor leaves the hallway and gets to and sees Elias there. And then what happens?
Do you want me to explain?
Yep, go for it, Nick.
So, Elias pretty much thought he was alone. He thought he was alone. He didn't want to be alone, but he thought he was alone. So he said, okay, if I'm alone, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead for a reason. So there's something trying to kill me. So he goes and tries to find a gun. At first I was not expecting to find an actual firearm in the drawer.
No, you actually found two weapons back to back, right?
Yeah, I
a
found a crowbar, and
Yeah.
then I used the crowbar to bust all the drawers open,
Who
and
do
I
you
found
think you are?
a firearm.
Omar Jones.
So I
So
find
yeah.
I find the gun, and actually meet up with Dr. Helswick. So at this point, I'm like, I cannot trust him, but he is alive, so I'm happy. Like, Elias is happy that the doctor is alive. So let's try and keep it that way. And he asks, so is Eric alive? And I thought it was so funny. Then doctor just deviated from the question entirely. He just said, "Oh, he's right there. He's right there. Just go down that dark hallway." And I was like, "No, this is a trap. This is definitely a trap." So Ellis is like, "Oh, we need to find the circuit breaker to turn all the lights on so I can search for Eric." We get to the circuit breaker, and then Fire rolls a 1 on the circuit breaker.
Oh yeah, that was the funniest moment because we were still like in the voice chat and we just laughed off that one moment.
Fully
We were
passed
just
out.
like, yeah,
Yeah, we thought
yeah.
you were going to
We were
die.
thinking like we were all thinking he was going to die. We were like, yes, take that, and he didn't die. I was
Fully
thinking he
passed
was going
out.
to be paralyzed. Honestly, I'm all. But
Yeah. So then Elias ties him up as he reaches for as he gets shocked and passes out, and then we we go into quiet time again. And then when
It
we
was 1 a.m. and I was sleepy as fuck.
and then we get back to action time. He's tied up, and then what happens, Shy? As Alex has his big moment.
Right when it comes time for me to speak, I need to leave because I'm being hit
No.
now. So goodbye.
No. Okay, well I will speak for Alex in that case. Bye, Shy.
bye, Shai. Take care.
See
Sleep
you.
well.
Have a good
Eat
night.
well.
So
Boom, boom.
Alex comes back and realizes that he finds Elias with a gun, and his beloved doctor tied up. So
Beloved doctor. It's as if like those two should be shipped.
and he finds a letter in his back pocket that the doctor had slipped him that no one noticed, which is also really good. And the letter says, and I will read it out loud. The letter says, Alex, I do not know how much time I have left. I do not know who I can trust, but I know I can trust you. Please, whatever happens to me, I will keep you safe. My father and I have saved up plenty of money in an offshore account, and I'm prepared to set it up for you in the promise that you will keep the research going. I have full confidence in you. I can and will keep you from jail and harm. When you go to the Swedish trust around the corner from the lab building, ask for Mortimer and say the password, "The fox is in the hole," and he will walk you through the rest. This is a new lab. There's a new lab where you can research in a new city. It's far too much to explain, but Mortimer will help you. I understand that what you're going to see in the cell will be frightening, but I promise that this is what Father wanted, and he will not bring you harm. Promise me that you will continue to build our legacy, and in turn making a name for yourself. Dr. Helsvik.
Wait, does that mean Alexander directly became the doctor, or?
Get there.
Wait,
We're almost there. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure that he actually did.
We're almost
there is
there for
there
two
is a
things.
chance.
Because
Emo
okay,
has in
like
store for
there's
everybody.
one thing
If they actually
because
listen and read to what I put down.
Wait. We'll get there. We're gonna get there. So then
Cool.
Alex proceeds to try to sneak up on Elias by grabbing a weapon, but rolls really poorly, and Elias sees him immediately, but doesn't exactly suspect he's doing what he's doing. Care to fill us in there, Nick?
So the way I had set up Elias is because Chemo broke the coffee pot, and Elias could not drink coffee.
The original Eric he was based on.
I'm so sorry for that.
Nothing else.
Because Elias has double personality.
Yes. This came. What's happening?
And
yeah.
And this came up right after, a little bit after Chemo broke the coffee pot. So at that point, it was the other Elias, or Didi, Elias's brother, controlling his body and thinking.
Oh, that was such a good reveal. So interesting.
That is
So the
very
Elias you met at the beginning of the RP was this stoic gentleman.
Kind of survival.
Wow.
The stoic gentleman at the beginning,
Oh my
and
gosh.
then he switched back to the childish, more emotional,
Amazing.
careless.
Oh, so good. So what happens next? What happens next to him?
He asks Alexander to check the lights, and he says nothing. So at this point, Elias needs to get the fuck out of there. And since it's a little kid thinking, he's like thinking, I don't need any of these people. I just need to threaten this guy who knows everything, and I'll get the hell out of here. So he slaps the doctor really hard to wake him up and asks everything about the facility. And it is very convenient for you to not have stairs in the 8th floor.
Yeah, that's what thing the moment he mentioned every stair except in the floatable inn, I was like, why? Why would you do that? Only
So this is actually all going to tie in. I think maybe I should save this for the end because this is going to tie into how this facility came to be and how they are able to exist in this building where no one is able to go up to this floor except through an elevator. So yeah, go ahead.
So Elias gets the information that there are stairs from the 9th floor to the 13th floor and from the 7th floor to the 1st floor. So what I thought was, why go up when I go straight down? That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the stairs from the 7th floor to the bottom floor directly and leave the facility. Or maybe call help. But I really thought I was going to die on the stairs. On the emergency stairs from the elevator shaft.
But that's not where you died.
I died in the elevator shaft. No.
Roland fucked you.
Roland fucked you so bad. It was
he actually rolled a lot in the rolling dice thing, and he
yeah.
still got a 1.
I got like 3. I got like 3 or 4 ones in rolling them dice.
Really?
And I was like,
so you were
like you should.
That's funny.
Go check it. Go check.
Yeah, go check it. Like I was actually checking that channel and I just seen him roll.
So
and
I was ready to roll. I said I was gonna jump to the other side of the elevator because the stairs broke. I'm gonna slide down and climb the wires. So I already wrote the message. I'm ready to roll. But I'm like, what if I just roll a 1 right here? So let's test that theory. So I went to rolling them dice. And the first roll is exactly a 1. And I was like, okay, I dodged the bullet. So I keep rolling and I'm like, I switched up my luck.
That's probably the other most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Switched up my luck.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. And I'm rolling, I get exactly a 1. So
God, me too.
Oh, this death grossed me out, and I wrote it.
It did, yes.
Wow, it actually grossed you out.
Yeah,
That's surprising, actually.
I know. Listen, incest, crossbreeding, all good, but sliding hands down cables, ugh, hate it.
I love how I wrote in the last message I wrote, do as you please, just don't kill yourself yet. And exactly that. Elias grabs the wires but cannot get his footing and begins sliding down the cable, his hands becoming bloody as the velocity from his descent quickens. His skin begins ripping off so much that the pain becomes too much.
Nick, were you the one who was wearing gloves, or was it Shy?
Was it? It was sure.
Okay.
Carrying, careening 8 floors to his death atop the elevator, which sits at the ground floor. His body laid there, twisted as it stares upward into nothingness at the elevator shaft.
So sad. So very, very, very sad.
It was a very
So
sad moment.
realistic too.
So that ended up being all of the deaths because at the end of this, ooh, sorry, I lost the page. So at the end of this, the doctor turns to Alexander. You read the letter, yes? Follow it. I will take the blame for this. Untie me and I'll do the rest of the work. Let me have the gun. I'll take care of father. So he tells him to that if he enters the code pound 613 twice, it'll emit the gas. And so what he's trying to do basically is that he's going to shoot the creature, aka his dad, to cover the evidence, hide it in the sanctuary. If he emits the gas, the animals will go directly to his body. And so that the police or whoever comes through doesn't, isn't aware of the experiment. And so Alex says it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. He thinks it's the last time they'll meet. And the doctor says, perhaps, or perhaps not. So they do the deed. They get everything set up. And right on time, the police come, shoot all the animals. R.I.P. to all the animals. And
Are you sure Kalalami was not that wolf in the lab? Are you sure? This time? Are you sure it's Al?
And then a wolf jumps out
Are you sure?
and then a wolf. And so what happens now is that so basically gets arrested, and Alex locks himself in the cell, making it seem like he had been forced there, and lay pretending to be unconscious. So the doctor waves the gun around. They shoot him in the leg, which is how police are supposed to work. They shoot him in the leg. And they send him down, and then they arrest him. And then this report happens. 1 year later, reporter. In a miraculous turn of events, 29-year-old Swedish doctor Gunther Helsvik, son of the famed Johann Helsvik, who went missing in 1966, was found not guilty due to lack of evidence by a jury of his peers after staggering evidence was stacking up against him in the murder of 6 college-aged kids. The lone survivor, whose identity has kept for security reasons, did not testify. The witness was set to be the key witness for the prosecution, but chose not to participate for unknown reasons. The prosecution says that Dr. Helsvik will be brought to justice one way or another, but as of today, he is a free man. And that is how the Fox
I hate
ends.
I hate you so much.
Yep. That's a whole lot of stuff.
Fire. I would say.
That pissed me off so
Guess
much.
Lex took the mantle of the doctor.
I would ask you to go to hell, but you're already in
I'm
it.
already there. Yeah, we're already there.
Go to heaven. That's the point of
Oh,
shit.
that would be
Go
that would
to
be
heaven.
that would be horrible.
Place beyond hell. It's beyond hell.
So
Yep.
so some of the gaps that I wanted to fill in was that what I was alluding to, especially with the Mortimer situation, which is that Alex was meant to go to the bank and talk to Mortimer, was that the Helsviks had a lot of people in their pocket, and so they had people to help them not only fund this experiment, but were able to help them escape jail time, as is what happened here essentially. Because this is a fictional world where rich people get off for their crimes. That obviously doesn't happen in the real world, right, guys? And so
I don't know.
and so yeah. So basically, one of the things I was asked was about the stair thing. So in order for them to be in the building, they had to make sure that no one could come up to the lab. So the way essentially the 8th floor worked as like a penthouse, because I don't know if you guys this happens a lot in New York, but there are a lot of buildings where the elevator goes directly into the apartment.
Nate, holy shoot.
Yeah. So this is the same thing with wait, did something happen? What's happening? PETA would have started a mess if they found out PETA's animal hate group. They would be happy the animals die. Wait, what? My dad has a joke. PETA, people eat tasty animals.
Oh god.
And then Nate wants a steak. Essentially they had pretty much carte blanche to have a hidden floor, essentially, of the building. And yeah, so that's how Dr. Helswick got away with all of his crimes. Was not expecting that ending to happen, but it happened. So,
but then again, it's supposed to answer how he managed to get into New Hell City, right?
Yes.
You said that every ending of the Cryptidverse has to like give
Well,
a hint.
Like, yeah, okay, to be fair though, there's one problem with this, that he's never disclosing why he goes to Nehruel City. It's like every other thing seems to be attacked by the New York City, but there's no explanation why, actually. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm curious. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
no, that's
like,
okay. That's okay, you can go on. I was just going to say, like, quickly that it's like New York City has an attraction for supernatural things. And it's strange.
This
Well,
is
it is
actually
in New
one
York
of the...
City.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that this is actually one of the few times where I actually alluded to New Hell City. I usually don't like to with the ending of the Cryptidverse things, but I did say in his letter to Alex that there's a new city and Mortimer would explain it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's
So
not
what
you
I'm-
who got in, it was
Sticky,
Alex.
that's sticky.
So,
Okay, now
So
yeah.
what I'm
I
curious
need-
about though, was this the whole plan? Was the ending the plan the whole time, or were there multiple?
There are multiple... For every Cryptidverse, there's multiple endings, depending on what I
Yeah.
think you all might do. This was actually the least likely of the endings. I didn't expect to get this ending. So I'm happy it happened.
Can you
Because
that
spell
was the
what
true
other
ending,
was?
right?
well, this would be, if you were considering the true ending, this would be the true ending. Yes. There were endings
I
where
think
Dr. Helswick was killed, and Cage was the new Doctor. There were endings where the Helswick Foundation got supporters, and then they became the new Doctor. There's a lot of there's
What?
several different...
wait, support. Why the hell will they hate supporters? What? Hold on. Was that the ending if every student got out, for example, or I don't understand.
That one was because I think that one was if everyone died, including the Doctor. If it was like a total cast wipeout. If
So
there
it
was
was
like
a
no...
total cast
Yeah.
of. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
That's also if
Okay,
like Cage died and everybody, yeah.
okay, wait. What would have happened if like one of the cast survives, but Cage and the Doctor die with the father? So that one person will be the Doctor because there's no one else to be the Doctor.
No,
Since,
it depended on the person. Like if Elena had been the only one survived, I wouldn't force her to be the Doctor, because I don't think that would have made sense. I don't think she would have
To
done
be
that.
honest, I'm gonna be honest. The way Elena was going, because she was slowly going insane. Let's be real. And
Yeah.
with the situation she was in, so I wouldn't be surprised if somehow she became the Doctor. Because first of all, the Doctor doesn't have a gender. Let's be real. You know, Doctor can be a boy,
Yeah,
girl.
Sure.
yeah, like
Oh,
and most is
okay.
this like is this came with only a love code actually, and that they put people hits of anime in their heads, which we know there was someone with that, the father of the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone
Yeah,
could
I wouldn't.
replicate that
Yeah,
if
I
they
wouldn't
saw
be
that.
surprised if they passed the torch to her because she's couldn't think straight at that point.
So this makes me curious. Why would Cage become the Doctor?
here.
Why would Cage? Like he has no reason to. Why would have him?
Well,
you-
yes, I was going to have it. I was going to have it so that Cage sort of lost his mind, and it's funny because sort of the same thing that Elena, that Zozo said with Elena, was that sort of the use of the drug had poisoned his mind because he'd been using it so much. Also mixed in with the heroin that he was also addicted to. So I had sort of I didn't fully flesh it out because I slowly realized it wasn't going to become a reality. But I had like bullet point notes of being like, Cage freaks out and somehow becomes the Doctor. That's kind of all I had. And then I was like,
That's
I'll
okay.
fill it
I
in
mean,
later. But
I mean, like
it
they only
it didn't
like
matter.
because like for example for the vines it was literally not a person, it was like an infection, so anyone could have like got it from out from that. Or also the Fergusons, it was like a thing from the lake, so it didn't matter. But for a person like the Doctor, it matters a lot because if he dies, who's the Doctor now?
Yeah. So
Was
this
there a point that the father would have survived or not?
Wait. When the Doctor was stuck at the sanctuary and was almost killed by a wolf, if Elias didn't open the door, what would happen?
he would have
Oh
died.
yeah, I
He would have
forgot
died.
about that.
Yeah, he would have died.
Okay,
Which I
Right there.
I fully thought was going to happen. I
okay.
was
Question,
100. Yeah.
question. Okay, explain. Why was the Doctor like that kind of worst state?
Actually, I have to go. So,
Oh,
sorry.
see ya, Nick. Thanks for stopping
Yeah,
through.
Hey,
Nick.
Nick.
Woot.
Thank you, Nick. Can you explain that state the Doctor was in? It's actually it wasn't like he was dizzy or something. I didn't understand that state at all.
Well, the Doctor had also had a little bit of remnants of the 613 in the air, and so he's also like really turned on by aggression or the idea of death or the idea of animals harming humans. So the state was essentially horniness, if you want me to put it plainly.
Okay.
So
As
yeah,
usual, fire.
as usual.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Talk
One
us more
other
questions.
question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry if I asked too many
You're
questions
fine. You're fine.
because this is like the only time I think we have so many endings because it depends on who dies and who doesn't.
Yes.
Like the vines or the other. What would have happened if everyone survived? Even like I don't know, even if Kisali is not the father, what would have happened?
If everyone would have survived, I think this true ending could have still happened if they survived. I mean, I probably could have. I mean, I wouldn't have loved to do this, but it probably would have gone to trial, and then I would have had everyone roll. Oh, I did do that. If everyone survived, I did have everyone roll to see whether or not they testified.
But
In the
as
trial.
you said, fire.
And
as
it
you
also
said, fire,
depends on the
you
character because for example Elena, I don't think they would believe her unless it's high, for example. That would also depend on the character a lot.
well,
Sorry by the way for interrupting that.
as you said, fire. You already chose two people that you wanted to be the Doctor next.
Yeah.
So it's most likely gonna be one of them at the end. So the story doesn't change at the end. The only thing that can change is you going to jail or you not going to jail, and that really doesn't matter because you are not the person who's gonna join the NSC. It's the
Yeah,
person
in
who's
the
gonna.
end, Alexander would have been chosen anyways
Yeah.
because
I also had a
of
scenario where the Doctor did go to jail. Just sort of. I mean, it wouldn't have been based on anything. It would have just been like, eh. But I liked the idea of essentially Alex and Dr. Helsvik finding each other again and going together, which is interesting. And the reason why there are two doctors is because if you remember, the obituary message changed every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there are two doctors.
wait what?
So
So
we just melded the canon at this point.
so if some people noticed, some people, I guess everyone did it, I don't know, but the obituary message for the month of, was it March when the Doctor was there, changed every week. So sometimes the Doctor was changing animals, and then one of the weeks the Doctor was like pleasuring himself against a tree while he was he made one of his creations. So it changed every week, giving the illusion that there are more than one Doctor.
Well, that's
It's all
do
connected.
wonder.
It's all connected.
That's interesting because like there's so many choices that could have happened,
I know.
and
I
I
know.
just I do wonder
So it's the
where will
doctor is more than just one identity in this case.
Yes.
it isn't. We could do like call it the person who's doing the what was the name of the thing again of the dose? What
Which
was the
one?
name?
Which one?
The the adrenaline thing. The I forgot the name of the thing they were working on. The virus
Oh,
of the
613.
dose.
Oh, 613?
13. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that. I think it's just the person who's doing that dose. That anyone who's doing that is called the doctor at that point because like working with girls bleeding and that you probably will go crazy no matter how strong you are.
Now I'm just freaking curious as to what would happen with the weeping woman. Because
So
Honestly, I feel oh sorry.
before we get there, what are your final thoughts? Oh, do we have a ranking? Do we have our rankings? Our three?
Yeah. I
Yep.
told you already, man. It was first. Ferguson won't be better for me unless another one like that appears. But I know you have validly an idea for the rest, so and that's okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
So Ferguson first. Vines is actually second. It went up because of the Fox's Elena's death. Oh my god, I still hate you for it, and I still hate how you lied about it. I don't know. I just feel like it was such a weird thing. I don't know. I just feel like the Vines was better at some point.
That's fair. That's
For
fair.
most,
That's fair.
yeah. So that's why Vines is second for me at this point, and the Fox is third.
How about you, Swift?
Okay, so actually, as much as I pretty much was kind of like unimpressed by the fact that you introduced like new mechanics without telling the rest of the players. I mean, of course, by the name indicator, it was meant to be private conversations.
Mhm.
So, among other things. So I found the Fox actually pretty interesting because of how the general theming of it, the general theme of manipulation and keeping things obscure, it kind of stays true to what the animal is in general and what it's associated with. Cunning.
Thank you. It all comes together. The fox is always a sneaky thing. The fox is always trying to trick things.
Yeah, but in that case, I will stab you for it, no matter what. I will find you.
What are
and
your
I will stab you.
What are your rankings so far?
I will find you and I will stab you. I mean, I'm a certified murder baby.
Oh my. Do you have a ranking? Do you have a 1 to 3 ranking of the
Alright,
Cryptidverse?
so to be honest, I still just basically tied the Fox and the Vines together. There's still a tie.
There's still a
on my
tie?
list. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, the Fox is like slightly higher by like a 0.5 or 0.7. but yeah, otherwise they're in the same league. And then the Fergusons, of course, is still number 2.
Wow, I am surprised because every time I go against the crowd, like I watch every single thing and I'm again little against the crowd every time.
I know everyone who's participated in at least like the 3 or like have know about the 3 have completely different rankings. I don't think any 2 people have the same rankings. Well, at this point, I guess you have
Yeah.
to mathematically, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm boring since I was not a part of the Fergusons or the Vines. I don't really have a ranking, so number 1 goes to
the Fox! Yay!
Okay.
Good job, So.
I mean, yeah. I think I'm the only one. I don't know, but I think I'm the only one, or like one other person at most that likes the Fergusons, and I feel weird about.
I cannot
don't
wait
know
for
why.
I cannot wait for y'all to vote between all of the Cryptidverse for what gets the official nomination, because that'll be
For now, my
interesting.
vote
Yeah,
is
I
the
mean, like,
Fergusons only.
I'm determined to be in every single one of the threads.
Get-
Bring,
So
like, my,
Get that win! Get that
bring
win!
my whole set.
Yes, Swift has a minigun of Ox. It
So
doesn't matter how many Cryptidverse you bring.
So
He's
Yeah.
going to bring the Ox.
our next RP will be starting in a few days. It is called The Dating Game. It is going to be wildly different from everything we've seen before, and we will
Yep,
be
can't
seeing
wait.
Trevor Frieda, played by
Freda.
Swift, Michael Corks, played by Liz, Cody Barker, played by Zozo. I love these names. Victor.
I want you
Yeah.
to know I'm terrible at coming up with names, so I used a name generator.
Oh, that's amazing. Yours probably has the most 60s look, by the way. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I tried to,
Yeah.
I love the 60s, so I did my best to try to keep, when it came to Elena and Cody, I did my best to keep them, age appropriate.
Very
Not
appreciate
like
it.
in that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's very good. It's very giving, very Beatles.
Meanwhile, Trevor has like that fedora because he's like.
Listen, that's back there.
Fedora. Anyway.
And then we have Victor Lewis, played by Soph, aka Simakashi. Guy Walters. We will be introducing Luna to the Cryptidverse, which I'm very excited about. Silver Luna Wolf. Which I'm very, very excited about for the first time. And then we also have a new friend, Princess Zoe, who's playing Michael Smith. So we have 2 new castmates to our
I believe
Cryptidverse.
she's in the audience.
Yay! Cast members.
Okay,
yes, Zoe!
The Fox is over, and the discussion about the next one is over. I want to know, how do I take part in the next one?
So I will be posting the breakdown. I usually try to post it towards the end of when the other one is ending. So it'll probably be late May. But I'm honestly, this is kind of a secret. I've actually written the treatments for everything, for all the things forever. So I'm ready to go. So
wait,
I'm not. I'm saying nothing more on that. Nothing more on that.
Okay,
My only hope, my only wish is maybe one of them gets set in the Philippines, even though it's just a far-fetched wish.
When I'm done with my lovely chores, I will expose the notebook.
Yes.
So,
For now, please hold on.
You just need to write my name there in wherever the list is. I don't care, whatever it is. I'm gonna be there.
You will be. Anyone who's not been in a Cryptidverse before gets first dibs. So no matter when you submit your character, you will be automatically entered in. So that one will also have Caddy and Kitten. So Caddy will be joining the RP.
Yeah, everyone is going for the Mothman. Like seriously, Jesus.
That one's going to be a lot of
Everyone's
fun.
going for the Mothman. I wonder the 6th one, which will come in at June, because of course the 6th cryptid person will be coming in at June. Hopefully it's a demon. No. Wait, I don't freaking know what they will be.
We shall see.
Let's just see what Tatsu will have to say about these cryptids.
Yeah, we shall see.
Will there be like an entirely new set next year?
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't think so. We'll see.
Talking about demons, what happened to the water demon and the earth demon?
You know what? We're gonna end the podcast here while we talk about more.
I was going to say before we end, since it's Wildfire's actors, correct? That's one of the actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that, since this is sort of like the American Horror Story in that universe, what actor do you think you would be, or what if you had to choose any actor who's reoccurring in the American Horror Story universe? Who do you think you would be in that universe?
Jessica Lange, obviously.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Oh my god!
I feel like Swift would be Sarah Paulson.
Swift is definitely Sarah Paulson. Definitely.
Sarah Paulson,
who's a queen.
A queen, a full queen in these streets. Oh my gosh, I love it. So thank you all so much for joining for this 3.5-hour podcast. Good Lord, I can't believe it.
You wrote this up yourself.
Yeah, you brought this on yourself because
you also
revealed more details about how your inner workings work. So,
and now I'm gonna have to completely switch it up next time. So you're not ready for it.
Because of this podcast, I stopped doing my assignments even though it's due tomorrow.
Like we're at this point we're just gonna be like
I am just going to watch every single thing you're going to say, and I will try to not fall for the hand this time.
Yep,
I will watch you closely.
I hope Taka joins in.
Taka's watching you. Like the NPC in Wildfire's actors is definitely watching for theories. I mean, he's like MatPat from Film Theory. He's just doing everything.
So go join Wildfire Actors. Take all your characters and join Wildfire Actors.
I will join at some point, by the way, not, but I don't know when. Like, I do want to join, but I am super bad at getting characters, like, out of nowhere. I just need so much time to create a character sometimes.
I will.
I will try to join once.
I will
I will promise you
see.
that.
I will see you all in the dating game in a couple days. Have fun,
Yep.
everyone.
Wait. What
Yeah.
happened about your weekend? What happened with your weekend?
What do you mean with my weekend?
Where didn't you have to go out, and that's why we were finishing this early?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
thought we were going to get bossy. For that, I'm confused now. Okay, what?
Does it matter? Okay, bye.